Let's go! Let's go! Oh my God! We are the champions! Yes! Ring it down, boys! Yes!
And we're live. What's up, everybody?
Hey, how's it going?
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the NASCAR Weekly Podcast. We're just going to get this out of the way right now before it becomes a major issue. Y'all can remind everyone in the chat if they ever bring it up or whatever. Eric is not going to be here tonight. Unfortunately, he can't make it. He'll be back next week, though, to recap Texas.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got to come back to recap his home state track, right?
Exactly.
It's only fitting.
But we're gonna bunker down and get all this good talking in about NASCAR because there's plenty of stuff to talk about. I mean, there's the Roval.
No, there's nothing to talk about, Jarrett, at all.
Oh yeah, that's right. But in all seriousness, though, there's the Roval. There's Steve Phelps going off. There's next gen testing. There's Texas.
I always laugh every time somebody brings it up now.
Comedic genius, man. Comedic genius. Anyway, let's just get right on into it, though. The Cup race went down this weekend, and you know, usually people like save the main attraction, the main fight, whatever it might be, to like the end of whatever they're talking about, be like the main act. But you know what? Screw it. This week, let's just go right into it. Harvick v. Chase, Part 2. Danny, lead us off, man. Like. What's your take on Chase Elliott basically like intimidating Kevin Harvick?
Press square.
Yeah, press the intimidation button on NASCAR 2005 Chase for the Cup.
So, like, Harvick, I don't know if he intentionally did it. He probably did, I think. But he probably thought that what he did took him out. He wouldn't have to worry about it. But then he probably literally had a conniption fit when he saw that Chase was like, what was it, like 2 cars behind him at that point?
Yeah.
He knew he was driving for his life because he knew what would happen if he got to him.
That's just amazing, man. I just, like, of all the people, you know, and we make jokes here and there, but, like, of all the people to intimidate Kevin Harvick is Chase Elliott. I find that's just, after everything we've seen, after, you know, a lot of people talking about him being too vanilla, I've said that. I've since retracted those statements. Like, Chase Elliott showed a lot of reason why he is the people's person right there. But Darian, I want to ask you, watching that, you and I were talking a bit about it, like, you know, through the week and before the show tonight. What does this do, especially if Harvick does have a fall off? What does this do to Harvick's legacy? I know that's we're talking big here, but it's just kind of, it felt like one of those turning point moments, you know, like almost a passing of the torch dominant kind of moment. I want to know if you thought the same way as I fixed my camera.
Well, first off, to answer your question, Danny, yes, it was intentional because in Alec Kamana interviewed him like right after the wreck or after he got intimidated by Chase Elliott. And he said, "You remember Bristol." So it was definitely intentional. But then Chase Elliott was like, "Oh, well, congrats, I guess, you know, you're go home, bye-bye," basically is what he said. But you know what? I mean, it does affect his legacy to an extent, or in a large way here. I mean, you can look at it either way. I mean, I can't recollect the last time I saw Harvick, you know, get mentally beat like that on the racetrack. Usually Harvick's the one where he's like the instigator. He's the one who's always, you know, pushing people's buttons and just doing whatever. I mean, I've seen him do some pretty crazy stuff on track over the years. Like, I mean, 2013 comes to mind when he went up against Ty Dillon, and then, you know, him and Ty Dillon had their thing, and then he was parked right in front of Ty Dillon's pit, and then they started getting pissed and throwing like the freaking hammers at him, like all the parts and stuff at him and stuff. It was crazy. So him doing crazy stuff is nothing new. And I mean, when he got to Chase Elliott's bumper, I was like, oh no, that's definitely on purpose there. But I'm like, wait, Chase, he's not out of it yet. So, and you know what, give props to Chase Elliott because again, like you said, we've given him crap for, you know, being vanilla and fence toast personality, you know, all that stuff. But the one thing we have never said, he is not a pushover. We have never stated he's a pushover. And clearly it was the same in this case. I mean, he came out of the final corner all the way to the start finish line. And then you could just tell, bro, hey, something's about to happen. It might not have happened in that turn, but it was eventually going to happen. It might have happened in the same turn that Harvick turned him and stuff. But hey, Harvick did Chase Elliott's job for him.
I think, did y'all see the move? Like, as soon as Chase got put into the wall, he was getting it back on the banking, and he literally tried to turn left right into Harvick.
And poor Cole Custer.
I know,
Poor Cole
like,
Custer.
if I'm Cole Custer, I'm like coming up to Harvick and being like, listen, like, because he'll probably talk to Chase too, but just being like, listen, like, y'all do your thing, but like, don't bring everyone else into it. But I want to bring this up really quick because I noticed this both the day of the race from Kyle Busch as well as different comments from people like Ryan Blaney amongst others. Like, Harvick doesn't, I mean, at least from what it looks like, Harvick really doesn't have the greatest amount of respect you'd think a veteran of his status would. And I either of you can go with this one. I want to know, like, what do you think it would take for Harvick to kind of regain what because I feel like he thinks he's owed like respect as a veteran driver. And you see that they respect. It looks like there's more respect for people like a Kurt Busch or a Kyle Busch, even a Ryan Newman, Denny Hamlin, older tier drivers who demand some kind of respect in the garage. And I'm just kind of wondering, like, is it too late for Harvick at this point? Because I don't want to beat up on Harvick, but I mean, he kind of brought this on himself.
Look, yes, I mean, without a doubt, it is definitely too late because I mean, let's put it like this: he's been in the NASCAR Cup Series since 2001. Think of all the antics he has done since that time here. So it's built up over time. I mean, you can instigate, you can do all this stuff all you want, but when it comes time to trying to doing the opposite, trying to get respect and stuff. I mean, I'm sorry, it's been 20 plus years. Don't be surprised if it's, some of the drivers are like, hey, it's too late and stuff. And also, some of these drivers are young enough to remember some of the stuff he did way before they were driving and stuff. So they probably already had a good idea of what to expect here. And I guess a lot of the garage area just wants to keep their distance, and I don't know. Harvick, I mean, he is very entertaining though, without a doubt. He is extremely entertaining, but also that also has a cost too. So I just fear that the antics are now overshadowing his accomplishments. I don't know how true that is or whatever. I mean, everyone knows him as a champion. He has over 50 wins, correct? Over 50 career wins. Okay.
I'll fact check right now.
Okay. Yeah, I believe it's over 50. So he's without a doubt a Hall of Famer. But, looking at other sports figures, in other sports or whatever, like there have been things they've done off the track or away from their respective sport or, in this case, off the track that, kind of affects their legacy. But also what makes this even worse is that this wasn't just any driver that paid you back. This was Chase friggin' Elliott, the golden boy, the most popular at the moment, the second coming of Dale Jr., basically, in terms of popularity. To me, nobody's ever going to overthrow Dale Jr., but, you get my point. So it makes it a whole lot worse.
Danny, I want to ask, what was it like in the Baldwin household when Chase Elliott did that? Because, I know I was like, oh, my God, he did it. Holy crap. About Elliott playing the intimidator on him.
Well, it was calm here because Claudia was at work, so I was watching by myself.
Oh, okay. Well.
But she was a lot happier when I was texting her and told her, okay, Chase is now safe. He's in because Harvick wrecked.
Yeah. And Harvick, he was only 3 points to the good, I think. So even he knew. He's like, uh-oh.
So here's what I want to ask. Where were they both looking points-wise before this happened? Were they both going to make it in?
They were both in before.
So what was the point for Harvick to try this?
Hey, you know what? He just wanted to be edgy. And say, well, it's like what Jarrett said in his upload today. What'd you say? Say it again, Jarrett.
So my analogy is that Kevin Harvick is like the Green Day of NASCAR, where it's like it was cool in your 20s to do this kind of stuff and to be like the brash, outlandish one who's going to go after people. Yeah. But when you're doing it near your 50s, it just looks forced and like old and just bad. Like you got to, I like as a veteran, you kind of got to mature into it. Like Kyle Busch, for the most part, has matured into it. The last time I can say he did something horribly egregious was 10 years ago. I think we've reached a point, you don't have to like him, but you can at least respect that he's gotten better. And you know what? He'll at least fight, as Joey Logano knows from 2016 at Las Vegas. It's hard after that to fully respect Harvick for doing this because he's done it over and over, and it feels, at least for me as a junior fan, kind of cathartic to know that, hey, he finally got his comeuppance after 2015, after the crap he pulled there, after some of the other crap he's pulled in the past. I can't really feel bad for him.
No, you can't. When you're constantly
2017, my bad. 2017.
Yeah. I was at that race, by the way. But yeah, no, when you're consistently instigating and just, causing mess and, trouble on the racetrack and stuff, yeah, it's like you're going to get your fair share of hate. And I mean, when it comes time for, looking for, hey, who's going to defend me here and stuff, like, yeah, no, like not a whole lot of people are going to come to your defense. And then what was even funnier about the situation is that in Harvick's post-race interview, he sounded like as if he thought he had won or something. Like, I could be reading too much into that maybe, but like the quote he said, oh, sometimes in life you have to learn lessons, or sometimes in real life. I can't remember exactly, but I was just sitting there going, does he think he taught Chase Elliott a lesson? Because Chase Elliott made it in. Your season's done, basically.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It goes back to, like, I'm thinking about the art of revenge in NASCAR. So it made no sense to try to wreck him now, because you could have easily instead tried to focus on getting yourself in championship contending status. And if you was able to do that, then focus on getting yourself into the championship 4, maybe wreck Chase at Martinsville if he hasn't won. Or how about this? Get yourself in a championship 4 at Phoenix, and boop, there goes Chase. Bye-bye.
That would have been even crazier. But yeah, I mean, I guess Harvick couldn't help himself. He saw Chase was in front of him, and he's like, all right, I just got to take him out right now. Let's just take him out. There's no way he can.
No, I don't want this really to overshadow, though, the fact that Kyle Larson, once again, got the win. And to say that it was impressive how he got it, I think is an understatement. He had, like, him and Bowman both had electrical issues. I think that Larson had, I think they went under the hood with Larson. They changed the battery. I mean, and he had to drive all the way through the pack. Not once. He drove up in the second stage to get stage points, then went down on pit road, did all the changes they needed to do. Props to the 5 team for keeping their composure. That's championship level composure, no matter the system. And I want to say that because a lot of people are like, going on about that. No, I mean, Kyle Larson's team was top-notch championship form. And to see him come up through the pack in a track that's not easy to pass on either, it was damn impressive. But I want to ask you guys, your thoughts on Larson basically just showing the field I'm still in charge right now.
Look, Kyle Larson is the best driver in the Cup Series, without a doubt. He's the championship favorite. I was kind of trolling his fan base on Twitter there because it wasn't looking too good for a moment there. I was like, hey, you guys are going to look real goofy if you get knocked out.
I mean, hey, we do got to talk about that. He was literally below the cutoff line.
He was. He was like 7-8 points below there. And obviously after he won, they were all like, oh, this is a stupid tweet. So I'll give y'all that. Y'all got me. But y'all better keep that same energy. Because if he misses the championship 4, nobody is going to cut y'all some slack. But anyways, Kyle Larson, though, that is now 7 wins on the year. 7, correct?
Yes.
I think.
He's the winningest driver.
And counting the All-Star race, that's 8. So, wow. What an amazing season he's had.
We're going to a track where he's the favorite. So.
Yeah, and a track where he last won in the All-Star race. So it's looking like he is the championship favorite, and I mean, he can easily clinch his way into the championship 4 this weekend.
I won't take the All-Star race too serious because it was a completely different package altogether. I didn't even use it for my video talking about that. But it's just looking at the way that Larson's team is, he can win anywhere. I mean, he can win on the intermediate tracks. He can win on the short tracks. He can win anywhere but a super speedway.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
But we'll go over the playoff grid in a bit, but it feels like, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, it still feels like it's Hamlin or Larson. That's it. Those two are the only ones that are really showing that they can show up every week and compete.
Hamlin was my pick, and I'm still going to stick to Hamlin, honestly.
He's a good pick.
I mean, just looking at the round of 8 field as a whole, obviously you have your 2 favorites, Larson and Hamlin, but then the other 2 spots, I really can't tell who those spots belong to. We're going to find out over these next 3 weeks, but it's going to be interesting to see who's going to get those final 2 spots. I feel like Hamlin and Larson will be locks to get in, whether it's on points or a win.
I got to say,
I can't like Hamlin.
I got to say, especially after last year, I do got to say Blaney has impressed me to still be in there as high as he is. but I don't trust him in this round either. I don't trust the pressure on Blaney for some reason.
See, I'll be real. Like 3 of my picks so far for the championship 4 are still in, so I'm pretty happy. And
I know who that one that's not is.
yeah, well, we're just gonna go over that one. We're just gonna fly over that one.
Was it Michael McDowell?
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, totally.
Totally. He was a favorite. Don't you know? God,
he won Daytona, so he's clearly the favorite. All right, go ahead though.
But I want to talk about the teammate of Chase Elliott, of Alex Bowman, of Kyle Larson here, William Byron. Like, yes, he didn't make it into the round of 8, but that drive that he put on Sunday, I thought at least was showing, hey, this guy's for real. 2021, this consistency isn't a fluke. He's coming up there. He was running down Tyler Reddick and Kyle Larson for a bit there. He just pushed it too hard.
Yeah, Tyler Reddick unfortunately kind of bumped him a little bit. They talked about it in the post race there, and also shout out to Tyler Reddick at P2. So he's definitely up for it next year as well. But yeah, William Byron,
Danny,
the future's bright.
I want to start with you a little bit on this one. Like, is William Byron someone who's for real coming like 2022, 2023 onward, or do you think it's kind of just, this is kind of his peak here? Like, for me, it feels like he's building it up.
It's hard to tell at this point because I feel like he's struggled to get where he's gotten so far. But also, the wild card is everyone gets a reset next year with new cars. Yeah. We don't know who's going to adapt better to start off. Heck, we might see Chase Briscoe take off and be the greatest driver ever in the next game, and he's done crap this year. We just don't know enough right now. I do think it's going to be a hard reset for a lot of teams, and because it usually always is. I remember, obviously you guys were all Dale Jr. fans, so y'all know this. When the Gen 6 first come in, Junior had done crap all in Car of Tomorrow except for like 2 wins. And granted, he didn't win 2013. He got the hang of that car right up the bat and was a much better race car driver. So we're going to see someone like Adele Jr. take that kind of effect, I feel like.
Look, the potential's certainly there for William Byron. I mean, go back to his 2018 Cup Series rookie season. I remember that from start to finish.
People were calling him a bust that year.
Yeah, and I was even defending. I'm like, hey, guys, give him a few years, relax. Let's see how he progresses. And
the thing is, and even still today, you put him and Alex Bowman under a microscope. Bowman has outscored him way faster, way more. So in the equal time in the same equipment.
Yes, exactly. But still at the same time, just like Alex Bowman has showed potential, William Byron has as well. I mean, they call him Boy Wonder for a reason. Some people do. Or what's his nickname? I think Alex Bowman gave him a nickname recently. I can remember. Was it Babyface, Boy Wonder? I can't remember.
I don't know. All I know is they like cookies and donuts after racing.
Yeah, definitely for sure. But yeah, William Byron and this Rudy Field combination. In the beginning, it looked like it was going to dominate the season, right? They went Homestead, which was like the 3rd or 4th race of the year. I can't remember.
It was right at the start.
It was
where
right
it
at the start,
shouldn't have been.
Yeah, it'll be rightfully back in the playoffs.
It was weird. Both the people who won Homestead, Mike Snyder and Byron, feel like they just kind of disappeared after that win.
Never to be heard from again.
At least with Byron though, he kind of like consistency'd his way along. Like it was like he was always in the top 10, but he wasn't really a top 5 contender. He'd have a few flashes. I'm really excited because I was thinking that this year would be like kind of a prove it year. Like, yeah, you got your first win last year, but that was at Daytona. One's still a great season. I mean, you were right there with Jimmy Johnson last year, which aside from like 20 other years, 15 other years in his career, that would have been a great thing. But he was not the best Jimmy Johnson he could have been near. You still beat him out. Good for you. But it was kind of just like here you go kind of thing. This year, he's shown competitive speed. He's shown, I think, a true championship drive, if I had to say so. And I think he's shown what that potential really, like a sneak peek of what that potential looks like. It kind of reminds me, and you guys can maybe bring your own analogy in on it, but kind of reminds me of 2013 Joey Logano. Someone who was up front from time to time, won a race. I think he might have won 2 that year. I'm not the biggest Joey Logano
He won
historian.
at least 1 race.
He won at Michigan, I know. And he wasn't really loud in the chase, but he was up there at times. And I feel like that's sort of the role that Byron has taken this year. And we saw like the rest of the 2010s, Joey Logano was a top 5 to top 7 driver almost every single year. So I feel like Byron could take that leap and it's kind of weird to think that was the first year of Gen 6. We're going into a new car next year. It's like if he gets a hold of this car right away, him and Rudy Fugle, that is
y'all better watch
fire
out.
right
That's
there.
24.
That is the combination. I think him and Fugle is the combination. It's been the combination. Well, okay.
Since the truck days, right?
Take out Junior Motorsports because he wasn't there when he won the championship. But still, that is the best combination for Byron, I feel like. So I think he's actually fine in that part. I'm starting to question whether or not Ives is the best fit for Alex Bowman. But then the other two, I think, have their right fits.
Yeah, might want to maybe reevaluate the whole Bowman situation as far as the crew chief is concerned, maybe. But as far as the Fugle Byron combination, that is perfect. Rick Hendrick, do not touch that. Trust me, William Byron will eventually take off. I believe, or I would hope he would. But again, with these new, with this new car and stuff, we don't know what's going to happen and stuff. So, but without a doubt, this year he has definitely shown true playoff potential, making it all the way to the round of 12. And one thing could have led to another, and perhaps maybe he could have been battling Larson on the final lap, maybe there. But you know what? Next year, though, and in the upcoming years and beyond, William Byron can definitely be a championship contender in the future.
Well, maybe some of these guys, well, at least some of them might be championship contenders in the future. These are some people, though, I want to give shout-outs to. I love giving shout-outs to different people each week because there's at least a couple who, whether it's their equipment or whether it's how they perform this season, have just, when they have a good race, it's good to see. So shout-out to Chris Buescher. He finished P3.
Yeah.
Bubba Wallace. Yeah, 14th isn't great, but for someone who all-out sucks at road courses,
I picked him to suck this week too. You know what?
I think I did too.
He's been improving.
No, I think I had him as an underdog because I remember he had been decent at the Roval in the past.
So he's improving year by year. That's good to see.
And then Joey Hand, we don't usually give shout-out to 27th place finishes, but it's first Cup start, racing for Rick Ware on the lead lap. Not even the last. I don't think he was the last driver on the lead lap, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't think so.
So shout out to Joey Hand. Even though he got into Truex, like people were like, it's NASCAR fans were all going after him and stuff, like and being like, he's so inexperienced and this and that, and like I think wasn't it Freddie Kraft said that like inexperienced drivers shouldn't get their first starts during a playoff race, and I'm just like, okay, I'm not an expert outside of NASCAR, but I've heard that name.
Yeah, I mean he definitely has experience on the road courses, and it showed in Rick Ware racing equipment of all things. So props to him.
And then
you're not gonna put someone in there who doesn't at least have a halfway decent idea what
as far as when Rick Ware Racing races on the road courses, they know who to put in for those races. So I'll give them props for that.
And real quick, before we go to the playoff grid, go ahead and lick that like button. Let's get like 150 likes or whatever. Let's do that right now. Lick that
like button, everybody.
There's 358 of y'all and only 82 likes right now on my end. We need to raise. Those are rookie numbers. Raise those numbers.
Do it.
As I keep shooing away the fly. Well, the playoff grid, it's reset, but I'll read it off for you guys right now. I don't have it to put up right now, but Kyle Larson is number 1 plus 42 over the cut line.
Oh, I didn't know he was that far ahead. Holy crap.
Hey, Kevin, God, stupid flies are everywhere. You're gonna see fly murder on this screen.
I think you were about to say it, but where was Kevin Harvick this time last year?
Yeah, where was he?
About that high.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's
a little
higher.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Denny Hamlin is second plus 7. Martin Truex Jr. is third plus 6. The damn fly is all over the place, as Ryan Blaney is plus 1 in P4.
How many points does the fly have?
Well, the fly's about to have 0 life points in a bit because I won't get it. Kyle,
there's 5 in there earlier, by the way.
I got 3 of them before the show. These 2 are just taunting me, but back on the line. Anyway, Kyle Busch is the first one underneath the cut line at the moment, -1. Of course, he has to be if Ryan Blaney's +1. Chase Elliott is right behind him, -2 from the cut line. Joey Logano, -11. And Brad Keselowski is the caboose, -16. Let's start out with Darian. Outlook going into the round of 8.
Look, I mean, Kyle Larson, I think I said earlier Larson and Hamlin are locks, but that was before I saw the point. So let me retract that statement. This is the playoffs. Nobody's a lock. All right. We saw that last year with Harvick. But it is looking very, very good for Kyle Larson to, at the very least, just be consistent enough to point his way into the playoffs if need be, barring the unforeseen, incidents or whatever. We'll see what happens. But the rest of the grid, I mean, I feel like you can make a case for most of them. I mean, Hamlin's up there, Truex, of course. And then, you have Blaney, who I feel, I mean, a lot of people feel, and I've noticed this on NASCAR social media, a lot of people feel Blaney could make the championship for this year. And you know what? I'm like 50-50 on him right now and stuff, and I want him to, it would be great to see him, but you look at the drivers below the cut line. I mean, a Kyle Busch, the defending champion Chase Elliott, and then a former champion, two former champions in Joey Logano and Brad Keselowski, who are on the same team. It's going to be hard to keep, those guys below there. So we'll wait and see what happens. But I mean, Blaney, I'd say, is the biggest wild card heading into the round of 8, in my opinion.
I'm not, honestly, Penske might surprise me. I don't think any of the Penske cars are going to make it to the championship 4. I think it's going to be 2 Gibbs cars and 2 Hendrick cars. I don't think all 3 Gibbs guys can make it. What I'm seeing is Larson likely wins Texas this weekend. Either Hamlin or Busch wins Kansas. Busch won earlier this year, but Hamlin's also been really good there in the past. And then I think Chase, unless Harvick comes sneaking in and does some shenanigans, I think Chase could win Martinsville again. So I think it would be Larson, Elliott, Busch, and Hamlin.
So the way I'm looking at it right now, I had talked about it in a video. There are actually, and I want to see if you guys know this, there are 2 spots of the round of 8 since 2017 that have made the last 4 every year. Which 2 spots are they?
I don't know, man.
Let's take a guess. Take some guesses.
Which 2 spots? Wait, are we talking below the cut line or just any
1
spot?
through 8?
1 through 8.
Which 2 spots have made it every single year since 2017?
Let me see.
Don't look at just take a guess.
Just
man.
take a guess. 6 and 8. 6 and 8.
No.
Okay.
Danny, what's your guess?
I'm sorry. What was that?
What 2 spots of the top 8 have made it every single year since 2017?
Oh, 3rd and 5th.
You got one of them right. 3rd. 2nd and 3rd spots on the playoff grid have made it every year. And Kevin Harvick is the only outlier being the top seed that has never. I swear, I'm not making this a Harvick crap, like a crap on Harvick.
It's facts.
String.
It's facts, though. You're
facts. I'm not making a joke on this one. But for me, I don't think we're gonna see that. I don't think we're gonna see lightning strike twice. I think we're gonna see Kyle Larson make it. I have a lot of faith in Denny Hamlin right now. Truex I have a lot of faith in, and I'm sticking with Ryan Blaney. I don't think we're gonna see any of the 4 underneath make it in. Personally, I don't know why, but I have a lot of faith in Ryan Blaney, even though Kyle Busch has been great at the 550 tracks, even though Chase Elliott's been great at Martinsville, Logano's been great at Martinsville, and Brad Keselowski can have streaks in his career. But I see the top 4 right now being the top 4 we probably have. And I apologize. The UFO was just talking a lot tonight. It's really weird.
It's all right.
But
It's talking?
It's making a lot of noise.
Oh, it's haunted. The haunted UFO.
Well, it is Spookies month.
It's Spooky Month. So if we don't have anything else to add, we can move forward really quick to the ratings and the poll.
The poll! Not yet, though.
Not yet.
The ratings first.
So
The famous Iceberg ratings.
Yes, the famous Iceberg ratings.
The ratings could have been better. I don't know why this UFO is making a lot of noise and it's annoying me. So we might unplug it.
We literally can't hear it on our end.
Yeah, we can't even hear it. Yeah,
good. I'll be suffering in solitude here.
Awesome.
So the ratings, 2.54 million viewers this week, which was down from 2.77 million last year, down 8% from 2020. That is 230,000 less viewers than last year. Not good stuff. And
that's not.
Wasn't like it was delayed or anything. I mean, you could maybe make the excuse, Talladega the week before, but there was so much coming out of Talladega. Like, If you couldn't make
Yeah.
a storyline leaving Talladega, you shouldn't be in the industry.
And
Like,
plus the Roval was it's so exciting too, and it's so anticipated. I mean, maybe perhaps we're starting to see some of that anticipation die down a bit. Maybe, I don't know.
maybe.
Perhaps, though.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I never really had a chance to say this, but as far as the road,
Sorry. Nolan Johnson leaves in the chat. Dish actually dropped NBC this week.
Oh,
That makes sense.
that makes sense then. Okay.
I knew YouTube TV was in a dispute. I did not realize. I'm sorry. I've never been a Dish customer in my life.
Never.
So I did not realize that. That might have made a difference.
oh, well, dang, that means it. Okay, well, sorry, I just had a realization that we have no way to watch stuff when it's on the NBC Sports Network now.
Dang. Well, isn't it? It's
Well-
about to shut down anyways. I think.
Well,
Pretty soon.
the good news is the next three. No, it's not just NBC Sports Network. It's like I think all NBC affiliates.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
But I mean, good news is that I think three of the next four races, aside from the NBC Sports Network one, are being simulcasted on Peacock and NBC. So
Okay.
if you have Peacock, I think you can actually do a free trial of it for a week. So I mean, it buys people time. But I can that might make sense there. My bad for not knowing that. Darren, what do we got next?
Yes, the poll, the famous Iceberg poll, and I didn't forget this time. Finally, do we have a new poll record?
We didn't set one this week, but it was about the same as last week. We had 14.8 thousand views or votes, I should say.
Views.
There's so many words on YouTube that all just they wash together. But 57% of you said this was a great race. 29% of you said this was a good race, meaning that the net positivity was 86% for this race.
Wow.
Which is comparable to other Roval races. And then 9% of you said average, 2% said below average, 3% of you said bad, so a net negativity of 5%, which is normal for what we have in general.
Yeah.
So let's look at some of these comments. Number one voted comment was from Weatherboy. At least on my end it is. I mean, it's the most positively voted one. Like least downvote, whatever. I don't know how the hell this thing works. Anyway, Weatherboy says, both elimination races this year have been drama-filled and entertaining. When people wonder why other people like the playoffs, they need to remember this. It may be a little bit forced, but it's a lot of fun to watch. I mean, yeah, I'm not someone who likes the playoffs, but I can understand why people like it.
It's entertaining. I mean, like, look, watching all that stuff, I will admit, I mean, while I do have quarrels with it, it is still very entertaining. So I'll give him that.
Yeah. Eric Core says the Roval just never fails to be storybook as F. Sorry, I'm trying not to cuss too much. I'm trying to be family friendly. Let's see. Depressed Eric Estepp says Kevin Harvick sees Chase Elliott behind him. Also Kevin initiating self-destruct.
I just like how you went from I'm trying to be family friendly. Depressed Eric
Estepp says.
Sorry, Eric, if you're watching right now. Sorry.
Sorry.
Let's see. I'm trying to find people that we don't usually shout out. I appreciate the ones we usually do, but I like to give everybody kind of spread it around. Oh my God. Potato says Harvick chuckles. I'm in danger. Proceeds to plow into the wall.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed Potato didn't just say potato. That's all I had to say.
Yeah, you would have top comment easily.
Denny Delivers says in James Bond voice, ladies and gentlemen,
Roval
beef. Chase Elliott and Kevin Harvick to each other.
Yeah, he was there. That's right. Yeah, Kyle Busch was talking to him pre-race and put on his Twitter.
He looks so bored in every picture he was in.
Yeah, low key. He was like, what is this?
And I have nothing against Daniel Craig, but he looked bored as hell. He looked like he's like, why do I have to be here?
Why do I have to be here? This is not a Formula One race. I thought this was Formula One.
I wonder what he would do if someone just goes, box.
Box. He'll probably say, box right back.
All right, let's scroll down really quick. Let's get a few of these ones that are lower down. Didn't get too many votes on here. Greg Brown says, Larson keeps clicking off the wins. What a recovery effort. They were dead in the water. They were.
They were. Yeah.
I have a Barry Boy blast. That's just Daniel Craig. One more before we go to the first comment. Marky Mark says, y'all know that gif with Squidward choking on a fork? That's Kevin Harvick. Didn't I put in our chat when that happened? Didn't I put that Adam Sandler? You blew it.
You did, yes. But yeah, that one gif you brought up from Squidward, that was funny.
What's a well, no, I guess last year's choke is still worse than this year's choke, right?
I'd say so,
Well,
yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's
With
up
how
there
the
though. This
season
year's
has
is up
been.
there.
Because he hadn't even won this year. Honestly, I think he must have done something to just curse himself last year because
He didn't rub the Buddha belly. That's what it was. He didn't rub it.
And so ever since, well, honestly, going back to our Harvick conversation earlier, all his respect kind of went out the window for everybody when he tried to wreck Kyle Busch to stay in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, if that was anyone else, everyone would go freaking nuts about that. Like, man.
Definitely.
Okay, first comment is from Continue West C. Is it positive or negative?
Yeah, I gotta go with negative. Good old negative here.
Negative, but I'm going to say that they're a Chase fan who's happy and they're very negative against Harvick.
It's one word, just like last week. Amazing!
Hey!
Positive!
Whoa.
Wow, dude, that's a good change of pace. Wow.
And okay, so a lot of you in the chat know I'm a big Vikings fan. Fish Productions. This is the most recent, I should say. So we'll actually, I'll go down to the first one real quick. But second most recent one was Fish Productions saying the Vikings got a Mickey win. So actually, that wasn't the first comment. I had put it on that, but for some reason didn't do that. So I'm gonna scroll.
Now we're gonna scroll to the for real first comment.
All right, it's from 48 Nation. It's again one word. Is it positive?
Negative. I'm gonna go with negative again.
What do you think, Danny?
Negative.
All it is woo!
Dang! Okay.
Dang it,
positives.
again.
Two
Why,
positives, one night. How about that? So thank you all for voting in the poll. I'll be putting those up every week as soon as the checkered flag flies, unless I'm at the race because reception is ass out there.
Yes.
But if I can, it will be up as soon as possible after the race. For sure this week. I'll do it at Kansas, Martinsville, Phoenix, whatever. But Cup is not the only thing that has been going on this weekend in NASCAR.
No.
We also have Xfinity, and the Rumble strips have struck again.
Oh, they took notes from the freaking Indy road course there, and we were there in person. That was crazy to see all that stuff happen. That was nuts, and we saw it again. I don't know. They got to figure out this curb situation for 2022 because if this keeps going on next year, I mean, with the abundance of road courses we go to, like some of these do require some of those rumbles and stuff. So you got to, fix them a tad there so they don't leave like that. But yeah, overall, it was a good race though. I loved it.
Now, I also want to bring forth one of the recurring storylines of the race. Maybe not so good for this person. We all like Ty Gibbs, but that dude was a damn wrecking ball out there, man.
Yeah, look, look, we know how confident Ty Gibbs is. We know how good he can be and stuff. But yeah, Ty Gibbs was. He even raced one of his playoff teammates, Harrison Burton, a little too hard there. I'm like, listen, look, like we know that's the best Joe Gibbs Xfinity car in the field without a doubt. We know that, but you're not in a playoff situation, however, and I think that was just, a case of Ty Gibbs, showing that he is, in fact, a rookie there. So he's making, rookie mistakes right there. But yeah, to race a playoff teammate like that, it's like, yeah, you got to settle down here a little bit. Got to reel him in a tad there.
Well, and, I won't say completely that, just rookie, we'll put it on him being a rookie, because he got his comeuppance from another rookie, Sam Mayer.
Yeah, props to him. It's good to see him run well.
Danny, do you remember when we had Sam on a few months ago? Do you remember how he was talking about Ty and just how we wanted to beat him?
Yeah.
I have a feeling in that moment he's like, for the love of God, I am not going to be the one on the wrong end of this time.
Yeah.
Screw you.
Nah, pretty much.
I am not coming in behind you again, old man.
I'll just say this though, that the Ty Gibbs Sam Mayer rivalry is going to be really fun to watch for years to come, especially next year. It's going to see how these two. It's going to be interesting to see how these two young drivers progress next year. It could be bad duking it out for the championship, but it's good to see Sam Mayer finally run well. Obviously, he didn't finish inside the top 10. I don't think he got spun. I think in the final laps, but he was up there in P2, and it was looking like maybe if one thing led to another, he could perhaps challenge AJ for the win there. But no. Sam Mayer though, again, he's just like William Byron. A lot of fans are writing him off already. I'm like, guys, he's just in a part-time season. Let's just wait until next year and see how he performs. You always have to give any sort of young driver time. Even Riley Herbst, I had to give time until you admit, not so. Maybe he's not the best. But you know what? In the case of Sam Mayer, though, I think the future is bright for him. We'll see what happens.
Well, you kind of alluded to it there. AJ Allmendinger, the road course master, the Roval master.
Roval master.
This is his.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Go for it. You were saying the same thing I was. Go for it.
3 in a row. He's won all but the first one. Chase Briscoe won that one, and then AJ has won the last 3.
Do you know
That's his baby. That's
rain or shine, it don't matter.
You know what his average finish there is, right?
First, right?
1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just one.
Because he wasn't competing in 2018.
1.0. Like that's amazing.
That is.
I gotta say, I like seeing AJ do well. Obviously he's gonna do well at the road courses. That's his bread and butter. But it feels good seeing someone with that good of a personality have this kind of career resurgence like that.
Yes, it's perfect.
Yeah, it really is. I love seeing the Dinger win like that.
What I think is so funny about this is I'm looking at the results from the Roval on Racing Reference. So AJ's obviously won the last 3 years. It ain't like he's had a starting advantage. His first win started 5th. Last year started 22nd. This year started 14th. It don't matter where he started, he's going to get to the lead.
He's going to get up there for sure. And, let me just say this too. It's so great to see him back behind the wheel full time in any racing series in general, just because his personality is always going to shine, amongst the rest and stuff, out of the rest. And also, the fact that he's winning multiple races and is a true championship contender, that's great for NASCAR.
This is the year that defines AJ's career because it's a career year. 29 races, 1 pole award, 19 top 10s, and only 2 of those were not top 5, 17 top 5s, and then five wins, and then plus 3 top 10s in Cup, 2 top 5s in Cup, and then 1 win.
Wow. I mean, look, as much as I would love to see him race full time for Colleague in the Cup Series, I feel like the Xfinity Series is the place for him to be.
I think he's already established himself that he sees himself as like where Elliott Sadler was a few years ago.
Exactly. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. The Xfinity Series, it's an amazing series and stuff. You can make a living, make a career racing there in trucks and, any series in general. But
yeah, I mean, just look at, go to trucks. It's full of people who did that. Todd Bodine, Ron Hornaday, Matt Crafton winning championships without wins,
Because when you look back at AJ's Cup Series career, I mean, in the very beginning, he did not get a fair shake with Red Bull. I mean, I remember that 2007 season vividly.
I don't think anyone but Brian Vickers got a fair shot there. So.
Yeah, but then, he moves on to other teams like Petty Enterprises, had the 1 season with Penske, but then we all know how that ended, made a mistake there. And as, since, he's since said, yeah, it was a mistake there. I thought I took, some type of supplement, turned out to be Adderall, correct? So that was great to see him come back from that. And now, he already has 2 career Cup Series wins. So I don't think he'll ever be a true Cup Series championship contender. So for him to be a championship contender in Xfinity is very fitting. So it's great to see.
Now, I want to shout out a few more people here who had some pretty good runs on Saturday afternoon. Preston Pardis finished 7th. Yes. Josh Williams, P11. And then Alex LeBay, P14. He's been pretty good at the Roval in the years past.
Canada. Yes.
But other people who have been really good have been the 8 playoff drivers left. So I'll read off the grid real quick for you right here. AJ Allmendinger, he is number 1 right now, plus 34. Austin Cindric is 2nd, plus 28. Then it is Justin Allgaier, plus 5. Noah Gragson, plus 1. Daniel Hemrick, first one underneath, minus 1. Justin Haley, minus 2. Harrison Burton -9, and Brandon Jones -14. So what's the outlook for you guys here?
This is a close playoff battle right here.
Very close.
And obviously, Cindric and Allmendinger are going to be your favorites to get there to Phoenix. So I'm just going to go ahead and say, hypothetically, they get in. There's only 2 spots remaining. Out of those 6 other people, I don't think Brandon Jones is going to be the guy to get there. Burton, he's been a letdown this year, and plus at this point, I feel like that whole team is checked out and focusing on the future, and he's going to Cup anyways with the 21s. I don't think this is him. Haley would be good, and I think it'd be good for Carlo to get 2 of their cars in there. So I'm gonna say I think Haley can get in there. He's only -2 back.
And I'm looking at the playoff grid right now too, and I mean, shout out to Noah Gragson, because a lot of the fan base was like writing him off, including me, because I mean, before the playoffs started, it was looking like, no wins in the column and stuff, and now all of a sudden he's definitely picked up the performance.
Heck, I'm going to say I think he makes up for what happened last year, getting passed in the very last corner. I think Gragson can get himself into Texas. Honestly, I feel like he can probably make that work, because last year wasn't that where Burton passed him literally on the last corner?
Yep, it was. And
that's
let's get props.
Wasn't
it? Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And also, let's give props to Daniel Hemrick. I know Daniel Hemrick gets a lot of crap for not winning a race in the top 3 series, but he is so extremely consistent, and he's only -1 below the cut line. So, one thing could lead to another, and then all of a sudden, boom, he's in there on points. So, and all of a sudden compete for a championship. It would be something in this playoff era if Daniel Hemrick somehow wins the championship with no career wins whatsoever.
I think he could.
It's possible. And that's what's crazy about this. I mean, hey, for the sake of entertainment, hey, let's see it. Why not? But I mean, as far as the other drivers below him, I mean, the only case I can make for Brandon Jones is he has won at Kansas before. He has won at Kansas.
There.
So, I mean,
that was his first win.
Exactly. So he has won there before. But, I mean, outside of that, I haven't seen enough. Harrison Burton, I mean, like Danny says, he's been a tad bit disappointing. He hasn't been terrible. He hasn't been a scrub by any means, but I did expect a little bit more. And as for Justin Haley, he's definitely the favorite out of the 3 below Hemrick. Now, if we were racing at a super speedway in this round, then I'd definitely be like, oh, yeah, he'll be in for sure. Colleague Racing would make sure that they would get him in with AJ, of course. But we're not at a super speedway in this round. So it'll be interesting to see how he can navigate all the way inside. But, I mean, he's only -2 below, so he's right there. So
I think
looking good.
I'm going to say Cindric and Allmendinger, and I'm gonna say I think Gragson gets in, and it's a toss-up between Allgaier and Haley. I'm going to say I don't think any of the JGR cars get in. I'm just going to say I don't think any of those get in.
Yeah. It could happen.
I could see that. I think the top 2 more than likely will, unless disaster happens. When it comes to 3rd through 8th, I'm with you. I don't see the JGR guys. I think it's 3rd through 6th battle. I think you might see Burton or Jones jump up one of the races, but I don't think they're going to be able to get it done for 3 in a row the way the other ones will.
Unless one of them somehow wins. So
yeah, I think Allgaier is the strongest of 3rd through 6th. Something in the back of my mind is saying Hemrick, and it's probably wrong.
He's consistent, man. He's so consistent. That's the thing.
The closest I remember him, he about got himself into the championship for his last year with RCR in Xfinity. But his problem is that was like at Phoenix where it almost happened. So
yeah,
if he makes it, he's going to be a threat.
He's going to be there.
He's going to win though.
I mean, and again, it's been proven in the system. You don't have to win the race to win the championship if things go your way. One thing goes, your way.
I mean, hey, I was kind of just cruising over to some Truck Series stats because we haven't had a chance to talk about our Truck Series friends a little bit. So I did want to bring up what kind of a year is Mr. Matt Crafton having compared to 2019. 2019, he finished that year with 3 pole awards, 18 top 10s, and 7 top 5s. He's actually not going to match that because but he's still sitting 3rd. I think he's had a better run in the playoffs than he did in the regular season, but he has 11 top 10s, 4 top 5s, 0 wins, and then polls don't really matter anymore.
Hey.
But still, I miss talking about the truck series. I'm really watching Matt Crafton. I think it's going to happen again.
We could see the system exposed in 2 of the 3 series this year. It could happen, maybe.
Well, we'll be able to the week before Martinsville, which is crazy to think. We got to that can't be a normal thing to happen in the coming years. But really quick, I want to say something that I think should be something that should be normal in the coming years is the ratings for the Xfinity Series. They had 1.16 million viewers, which was up 5% from last year.
Moving on up.
We'll take the wins where we can get them. It probably helps it wasn't a damn monsoon.
People, they love Xfinity Series racing, and I think the general public is starting to realize, like, hey, you know, if you don't like the Cup Series package we have currently, Xfinity Series racing is the series to watch in NASCAR. I think it's the best series in NASCAR at the moment too, and will be for a while.
Yeah. Well, so we've pretty much made it through the Roval weekend. Some stuff we should talk about with NASCAR is the president of NASCAR, Steve Phelps.
Oh, yeah.
He made some lofty things to say. Well,
that's an understatement. Yeah,
so
understatement.
Let's get to him right now. So I think we can probably just touch briefly on the first one here. 2023 NASCAR schedule, in his words, will be much different from 2022. Says that it's going to have an importance on putting variation on the schedule. Shouldn't go there twice. I'm gonna say right now, there are only, I think, 5 tracks they should go to twice, and it is Daytona, Talladega, Martinsville, and Bristol, as well as Charlotte. Go to the Roval for the Charlotte second time. Do Dirt Bristol for the first Bristol. Keep Martinsville on there for history's sake, and then the super speedways are.
If they eventually get the fairgrounds back, would you say 1 or 2 for there?
1.
Okay.
Yeah,
don't oversaturate the market.
Yeah.
That's the damn.
Come on, I want more races, Jerry.
I want more races.
Me too. But at the same time, I want to see full stands and
let's spread it out.
So I mean,
but what else did he say?
That looks good. I mean, he said that stuff about the schedule before. So
okay. Yeah.
But hey, I do want to say I do agree with that. The variation is good because I'm gonna probably sound bad by saying this. As much as people say like, "Oh, F1 and IndyCar drivers are better," I mean, do they go to as many different tracks as NASCAR does right now?
Well, in F1, it's a different. They go to a different circuit.
But it's still basically a road course, though.
Yeah.
I mean, in and of itself, it's still the same style of racing. Whereas,
you're talking about okay.
NASCAR is literally a different style of racing every week. It feels like.
Yes.
We have the intermediates, which are trying to turn into super speedways. You have super speedways. You have short track racing. You have, I mean, you could even look at some tracks, for instance, that completely race different than any others. You can look at dirt track racing now that they have. I mean, NASCAR. I won't go as much to say, like, I'm never going to say one series drivers are better than others just because I don't want to start that, even though the FIA is trying to start that. That's something we can talk about another time.
You have to have a lot more diverse driving styles to compete in NASCAR, it feels like.
I feel like
definitely a diverse one.
I feel like right now NASCAR has the most diverse schedule out of any motorsports series or sanctioning body at the moment. And, you know, him saying, hey, we want more variation. I mean, like, that can only mean positive things in my eyes. I mean, as long as we don't, you know, cut the traditional races, obviously keep the 500 where it's at, obviously keep the Coca-Cola 600. And then, like Jared said, perhaps maybe we should look into, hey, do certain tracks really need 2 races? Look, as much as I love my home track, Las Vegas Motor Speedway, we know that we all watched the snooze fest that was that playoff race last round. So, I mean, that track could possibly need some evaluation on if it needs a second race and a lot of other tracks too. But yeah, I agree with the tracks Jared said that do need to keep 2 races though.
Well, the second thing that Phelps brought up is probably the most controversial, even though we'll talk about what we think is more controversial afterwards, more because we have more of a connection to it, but and this person. But he also said around 2024 is when NASCAR will probably be using hybrid engines, entertaining the possibility also of an exhibition all-electric series, which I think we talked about earlier this year.
I think we talked about it. Like, I think the Nashville weekend, we were all there. I think we discussed it or whatever. I could be wrong, but yeah, that doesn't surprise me. They've been talking about that for a while now, and it could be coming. And looks like it's coming a whole lot sooner than we originally thought.
I mean, I know that it's coming. I think it's the fact that he's so open about it, and this is what surprised me about all this is like, say what you will, like I disagree with Phelps on a lot of stuff with modern NASCAR, but I'll give him credit. He's out there more than NASCAR's former administration was.
Yeah, you got to at least look. You might not agree with everything he says, and you might question like, oh, should he really be saying this stuff? Should we really be saying these certain quotes or whatever? And you might have different opinions, but I'll give him that too.
By the way, the hybridization is for Cup, and probably I'm assuming would probably trickle down to Xfinity and Truck. The all electric series is a whole different thing he was talking about, and that's way down the line.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. Like the Cup Series entirely is going to be a lot different than the other series. It feels like even there's been zero discussion on this. Are the numbers getting moved forward in Xfinity and trucks too? I don't think anyone's even talked about that.
For the love of God, it already looks bad enough on.
Dude,
Cup.
imagine it on the truck, bro. Imagine the number on the truck.
Just put a giant ass number on the tailgate if you're gonna move it. I mean,
oh my God,
don't.
It wouldn't surprise me if they do that for the other two series.
Aesthetically unpleasing.
I'm realizing that's a conversation no one is having, or where are the numbers going on the other cars?
It's so aesthetically bad looking when it's just not lined up with as much with the.
But you have to do it right. You have to do it the right way.
They can do it right. Yeah, like I've seen. I retweeted a few of them over the weekend, and there's some they move forward. They're not moved a ton forward, but it's enough. But it still looks really good. I mean, hell, the old Dale Jr. 8s were moved forward compared to the other part, the other numbers around. So it's like it can look good. It's just it don't look good right now.
Yeah, it doesn't look pleasing at all.
But I mean, I don't really know what more you can say about it because they can talk all day about it, but until you see anything concrete put down, like what are they going to do about, electrification in NASCAR, an all electric series? Like,
I don't know. I mean, like we had talked about maybe like you would turn the truck series into some type of car, NASCAR electric series, maybe. But I don't know. I mean, again, this is something that'll take place way, 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 way in the future. So
the electric, good to hear. All electric, yes.
Yeah, the all electric. Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
I mean, the thing I guess could be the selling point for hybrids is that they have talked it would probably add more horsepower, which I think we all want.
We all want, yes, especially on the intermediates. We all want more horsepower.
I mean, I can say, having drove as many hybrid cars I did working for Toyota, those hybrid cars are a lot faster than you think they are. They have a lot more extra pep in them. Like not like a straight electric car; those suck. But a hybrid car, there's a lot of power in them.
And I'm curious to hear what the NASCAR, stock car hybrid engine will sound like. In F1, we already know what their hybrid engine.
I better have that low rumble. That's all I want. Like, do whatever you can.
I can dig
that.
I feel like it would sound like a combination of a 4-cylinder meeting a late model.
Yeah, I can live with that. Yeah, I can live with that sound.
Just give me my low rumble. That's all I want.
Yeah.
Well, you might not even need headphones for it.
Well, the last thing that Phelps said that we're going to talk about today is the one that probably most like closest to home for us. So we've had Raja Caruth on the show before. He's a really good dude.
Just want to clarify, we love Raja. He's
great. Awesome guest. Awesome guest. And as well, he's an awesome driver too.
So Steve Phelps, I guess, was either asked about him, and maybe this is being taken out of context, but he said that Raja Caruth will be a star. Take it to the bank. I like the confidence, but I mean, I know on this show we learned the hard way with, hyping up people like Derek Krause and Haley Deegan. Maybe wait for these young drivers to get some starts in the top 3 series under their belts before we say this.
Look, let me say this, and let's, establish this right now. Raja Caruth is a phenomenal talent. He's an awesome driver. He's won races at Hickory, Greenville, Pickens. These are very historic short tracks that take immense driver talent.
His ARCA finishes have been improving this year as well.
Yes, and then even when we had him and Tommy Joe Martins on, Tommy Joe Martins had said he had discovered him in and ARCA race at Dover was running P3, and then he had problems with I think it was a flat tire or something like that. It was or some type of mechanical problem.
And what's good about that is like Tommy is big on social media, as is Raja, but that's not what he cared about. He noticed him at a racetrack.
Exactly.
That's where he noticed him.
And he's been putting in the work. And also, let me remind you guys, Raja Karuf has only been racing, for real, race cars for about 4 to 5 years. So he's just getting started in this thing compared to others. Now, without a doubt, he is immensely talented. The problem I have with this quote, though, is that, how many times have we seen drivers get hyped up by, the sanctioning body of NASCAR in general? Just take a look at Hailie Deegan here. They were like doing these little promos with her early on, and she hadn't even made a start in the top 3 series. And now look, and although I still think she's still developing, obviously the hype the hype train that began at the very beginning of the season has definitely quickly died down. So I'm just concerned, with the amount of pressure that this could be putting on Raja here. Now, I'm sure, he appreciates the kind words and, he can obviously handle it, but hyping up drivers can go either way. I'll just use me, for example. Look, when I first started YouTube, I used to hype up drivers all the time and stuff. Now, he's about to laugh here. The first driver I ever hyped up on my channel, Natalie Decker, and that backfired immensely. I did not expect that. My case for her at the time was, okay, we're hearing all this hype for Hailie Deegan, but Natalie Decker has experience in stock cars and stuff, and her track record in the local Wisconsin short track scene was very good. And look what happened here. So it can go either way. But I've also hyped up Hailie Deegan, Chandler Smith, who looks promising, and Ryan Vargas, who is looking like he'll have a consistent career in the Xfinity series. So I am just saying, be very wary of hyping up drivers and stuff, because it can go either way. But for the NASCAR president to be doing this, I think he needs to scale back on some of those comments in the future.
Well, I'd said it's like Roger Goodell seeing a freshman in high school and being like, that dude's going to be a superstar. And it's like, well, he's a good quarterback in high school, but like, we need to get him experience first. Like, let's not put all of this pressure.
And again, like I said in the beginning, the potential's there, the talent's there. Although some people on Twitter would say otherwise, like, oh, he's just getting this opportunity because he's black or blah, blah, blah. When in reality,
he's super talented.
He is super talented too. And yes, there's obviously going to be an aspect to that, because in NASCAR's history, now this changed a couple weeks ago. We've only had 2 winners in African-American winners in the NASCAR Cup Series in 63 and in this year of 2021. So yeah.
All I can say is to anyone who might say what Darian just said, as I pointed out plenty of times, Tia Norfleet is the perfect example as to if they wanted someone for publicity, a black female driver would be great.
They could get it. They could do it. Yeah.
But she ain't willing to put in work like the other ones are.
Absolutely not. And Raja has been putting in so much work with the diversity program and in the short track scene down there since day one. So this opportunity is absolutely deserved. And also, let's not forget, there are some parts of this, there are some drivers in NASCAR that at the moment that definitely shouldn't be there, but are because of, money and, family ties for, certain drivers. But Raja has earned this all since day one here. And, he absolutely deserves it. But just my only problem, Mr. Phelps, you just got to, I feel like you need to scale back on some of those comments. Let's rein it back a little bit here, because, again, this could backfire.
Yeah, well, but where we don't have to rein it back? The mailbag question.
The mailbag question, the famous mailbag question.
Yeah.
We just got a letter.
We just got a letter.
All right, so this one says, hey guys, my question to you guys is, what are the funniest moments you guys have had when trying to get a NASCAR driver's autograph? Keep up the good work in the show. Love watching you guys. It was cool to see Jarrett and Darian at COTA. Sorry, didn't see Eric, which is really ironic, from NASCAR Mobile 48. By the way, you can send in your question at weeklypodcastguest@gmail.com, all lowercase. And just send in a question. If you send in a request to be on the show, you will promptly be ignored. So guys,
I can go first on this one. As it happened pretty recently.
I know what story it is.
Atlanta Motor Speedway, things have finally gotten kind of back to normal, and the fact that they have the Chevy stage open and drivers making appearances. I'm a big Alex Bowman fan, and all of a sudden we notice, hey, there's Alex Bowman. He's signing autographs. Oh boy! Oh, all I have is my hat. I don't have a Sharpie. Oh, Joey Stone, do you have a silver Sharpie by chance? Oh, I do, Danny. Here's a silver Sharpie. Go get your favorite driver's autograph. Hello, Mr. Bowman. Can you sign my head? I have a silver Sharpie in it. No, what are you doing? No, no, no. Proceeds to sign in black Sharpie.
He did not care at all. He's like, I gotta go, bro. Here you go.
And he lost a fan that day. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Darren, who you got? What story you got?
I don't really have any funny stories about NASCAR, about getting NASCAR autographs per se, but I do have a funny story, and Jarrett was there at this year's SRX season finale at the Nashville Fairgrounds. Yes, he knows where I'm going. I ran into the one and only Paul Tracy, and this was after he had just gotten into a little scuffle with Marco Andretti. And after the race, I got a selfie with him, and he seemed like he was really nice to interact with. And as he was walking away, I was like, "Yes, sir, you're one of the most down bad drivers in the sport right now." Look up down bad what that means, because he said like the feet comments about Danica and stuff, and then he got into a little spout with one of the female reporters. But that was definitely the funnest interaction.
Hey, now that you're mentioning SRX stuff, I can think of my funny SRX moment. We're just all standing there, and I don't remember if you guys were around, if it was like some of the others or what, but we're just standing there, and next thing you know, Willie T. Ribbs is coming up right behind me over the wall, and he just goes tapping my shoulders like, "Yeah, man!" It's like, "Oh yeah, hey Willie!" It's like, "Yeah, go!"
SRX is awesome, y'all. Y'all need to go to a race sometime if you haven't been. It's awesome. But yeah, no, that's my funniest one. I guess the funniest one in NASCAR I can think of is when I saw Kyle Larson for the first time and got his autograph. I did not realize at the time how short he was. I swear, I was like, whoa, he's really. I'm like, hey, well, thanks for the autograph.
I'm not a tall guy, but he's shorter than me. I can say that.
Yeah, but he makes up for it by being immensely talented, and he's way richer than all three of us.
So my funny story, and this will be funny to any of my family who's watching right now. So as a lot of you know, I used to go to Chicagoland Speedway. Rest in peace.
R.I.P.
And so every year I'd go out there and I'd make these giant ass books that I'd have the number and I'd draw it out, make it in Sharpie, color it all in like the side of the car, and have drivers sign my custom made books for autographs. Well, it's 2008, 9, I don't know. It's one of those years with the COT where it looked really ugly with the wing. And so I see Robbie Gordon. And see, I'm like 10, 11, around that age, realizing, him, if you're gonna go after a NASCAR driver for an autograph and do anything you can to get that autograph, Robbie Gordon is not the hill to die on. Well, I proceed in my flip-flops to run after Robbie Gordon's golf cart because I'm like 11, and the sole of my flip-flop flies off, and I'm basically running on one foot on gravel. And Robbie Gordon sees this and immediately stops and signs like all the stuff of mine I have for him. Because I think in that moment he looked over and realized, man, if a kid in NASCAR, like is that into NASCAR to chase after me for an autograph, he deserves it.
That's awesome.
And especially 2008 Robbie Gordon, not like RCR 31 Robbie Gordon, 2008 Robbie Gordon.
No, this is like Jim Beam Robbie Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
This is like, give me whatever car I can afford for my own team, Robbie Gordon.
And something that people might not realize is Robbie Gordon's autograph is huge. Like he makes the R huge. It took like the piece of paper I had is like the size of this notebook. The R takes up almost the whole page.
He's like, hey, I'm getting this whole thing.
He gets the whole damn thing. So if Robbie Gordon, if for some reason you're out there watching this, thank you very much for your autograph. If you're listening to it, thank you very much for your autograph. I will never forget that moment. So that was
not gonna lie, that's not the story I thought you were gonna tell. I thought you were gonna tell the one where Dale Jr. was out of breath or something like that.
That wasn't really like well, are we talking like the craziest or funniest? I can't remember. I already deleted the question on the itinerary. I mean, the Dale Jr. one, he came back from a 42-mile bike ride, went right past me, and I literally sat there with my pen. I was trying to think of also a different story too, but he went over like I literally am sitting there with my hat and pen, and he just goes by, and I'm like, oh, and I look, and he does a Yui, and I literally drop all my crap, and I'm just like, hi, Dale.
Hi, Dale.
I'm your biggest fan.
Hi, Kevin.
I'm your biggest fan. That was a great moment. That was a great moment. I'm pretty sure I shared that with like every person that I knew. I'm pretty sure I sent a picture of like me with it, and I'm just like, hey, you guys finally met him. So that was pretty bad. Plus, it was the year he retired too, so that was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what else is cool is all of you guys that send your questions to the mailbag weekly podcast guest at gmail.com. Just leave your question on there, name, whatever. We'll look all through them. Remember, we only got 4 shows after this left this year, so be sure to get them in while you can. So leave it at weekly podcast guest at gmail.
We're about to go into hibernation for the year.
Basically.
Well, you know who doesn't hibernate is the ones who sponsor this show. The mailbag question was brought to you by Lionel. You can get your official Lionel diecasts on their website, but also at Walmart. There's plenty of them there. Danny,
And that's what I did. I went into my local Walmart this week, and to my surprise, because I feel like the Walmarts around here are bad at getting their orders in to get plenty of these in stock. They had a full wave of Wave 6. Every single car, even the truck that was an option. The only thing that wasn't an option was the liquid color chase piece. So I bought 3 of the 9 that were in this Wave 6. I've got Bubba Wallace DoorDash. I've got Daniel Suarez, I Fly, and I've got Kyle Larson, Nations Guard. This one's unique because he barely really ran this one this year and actually didn't get a win in this paint scheme. So it's kind of unique. But these are all 3 new cars that we didn't even have last year. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Look at Danny B leading by example.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. But anyways, for mine, I'm just going to say this. Michael Walter. Mikey. Okay, that's it. But no, this is a Pennzoil Cup Series car. I forgot what team it was for, but it's just one of the most basic schemes of all time. Just the 30, the Pennzoil, and just the plain yellow scheme. But hey, it's Mikey though, so it's 10 times awesome.
Well, I got Jason Leffler, his MBNA America number 18 car, and what I love most about this car. It's that silver. Look at it's shining. You can't even focus on it.
It's so
shiny.
Dang. Oh, it's so shiny.
I'm blind.
I need my
You can see it
sunglasses.
there. You can see it there. There we go.
Is it quite like the chrome that was on the Trackhouse car?
Not like that, but it's kind of like if you have the gray ghost diecast, it's like that silver.
Oh, okay, yeah, I got that.
Yeah.
And it just meshes good with the black and the green, and it's a rookie car.
Rookie stripe! I love the rookie stripe.
It's a rookie car.
I love the rookie.
There's so much light in here you can't really see it, but yeah, I figured I'd have that one. I think I might have had that once before, but I really love this. Plus, I mean, come on, it's a Pontiac.
Yes, and also
Pontiacs do we have as diecast?
And also, just to give some backstory to that car, Jason Leffler, that was his rookie season in the Busch Series in 2000, scored 3 poles, and then after that ended up moving up to the Winston Cup. So rest in peace to him. And also, guys, by the way, really quick plug here, Gone Too Soon, Jason Leffler is out tomorrow. So be ready for that.
So yes, thank you again to Lionel for sponsoring the mailbag question. Now, Darian, what is that?
It's the lightning round on the NASCAR Weekly Podcast. Oh, I'm getting better with it. Jarrett, what do we have on tap for tonight?
Your mic didn't blow out. Those new settings are great.
Better. The new settings, yes. It's the new freaking settings. Thank you. I love you. All right, go ahead.
Good job, man. That's awesome.
Go.
We need to give him the Dell call.
Maybe.
Oh yeah, maybe. We'll see.
All right, I'm gonna try and
What do we have on tap?
I'm gonna try and fly through these right now. So let's see what we got on tap. The last 3 races of the season, I was talking about this before, will be on NBC. That are on NBC will be streamed on Peacock, and pre and post race coverage is scheduled to be streamed on there as well, according to Jenna Fryer. NASCAR has said for the numbers, Chrome is back next year, according to Bob Pockrass. Bill McAnally Racing is switching from Toyota to Chevy. We'll have an alliance with GMS.
I think that's a good move.
All right, NASCAR Euro Series participants. Is it Tony Hazelmans? How do you say it?
I think it's that. I don't really know either.
And
but
Ernst Berg, I think. Well, they'll field a car next year.
Any relation?
No. No, they don't have any Lund on that one. But they'll be having the number 27 Ford next year, according to Kelly Crandall. They announced that this week. They were there at the test, I believe, weren't they?
And Jacques Villeneuve, former F1 Series champion, was testing with his historic colorful helmet on.
I'm waiting for the chat to just like laugh at how I pronounced that. RCR announced that Whelen will be sponsoring Sheldon Creed next year. RCR will also have 2 cars next year in Xfinity, and Myatt Snyder will not occupy either of them, according to Bob Pockrass.
Yeah, I kind of saw that coming.
Ty Dillon will be driving the number 94 for GMS next year. And then there's a lot of Rick Ware Racing news. So Rick Ware Racing will have an alliance with Stewart Haas Racing next year, and they will run Roush Yates engines, and they have sponsorship for 2 cars already set, may even have some for a third, and they have talked with both Ryan Newman and Matt DiBenedetto about driving.
Oh, okay. Hey, I know we give him a lot of crap now, but hey, look out for Rick Ware Racing in the future. If
Ryan
you can get
Newman
a Newman, if you can get a Newman there, then you added some credibility to your team.
Yeah, it'll be hard to pass that moving chicane. Texas Motor Speedway has planned to dramatically reduce their seating capacity amid their track upgrades, around 50 to 75,000 seats, which means if they were to do that, I think it's somewhere around 100 to 125,000 seats would be removed. I think it's somewhere because they have like seating capacity for like I think over 150,000. Might be less since they might have done some different things like that. As long as they can just keep the explosions to a minimum.
Oh God, yeah.
The next gen is going to be testing at Bowman Gray before the LA Clash. NASCAR is confirmed.
Yes.
It's the best track to try it.
That is.
We need to have a race there. Jeb Burton will not be back in the number 10 colleague ride in 2022.
Aww.
And then 2 things that haven't happened but are happening tomorrow. There's a major announcement from Stewart Haas Racing tomorrow, and doesn't have to do with NHRA.
Yep,
Yes.
it does. Perhaps.
Yes. Well, no, it's coming from not Stewart Haas Racing, but from Tony Stewart Racing. Not they're two separate entities.
Yeah,
so
because Tony Stewart is currently dating one of the racers. I forget her name. I think her last name's Bridget.
Leo Pritchard. Whatever.
My thought is that he's probably putting a team in there. Maybe Tony will want to drive something there.
Yeah, listen, guys. NHRA is already badass on its own, but to have Smoke in there, perhaps provide, building another team, that would be awesome.
And then John Hunter Nemechek has a major announcement for tomorrow as well. Keep an eye out for stuff with John Hunter Nemechek.
Yeah, keep an eye out.
Kind of have a feeling what that might be. I have a feeling he will be in the 20 and Gibbs will end up in the 18, but we'll see.
Well, that was the lightning round, which is brought to you by another one of our good sponsors, Forney Industries. Remember, look for that green logo. I don't have green the way that Eric does and the hat and everything, but Forney offers you a full line of welding and plasma cutting machines, metalworking accessories, and a lot more. For do-it-yourselfers, professional metalworkers, Forney's got it for you. Come on. So go and shop on Forney's top-of-the-line products on Forney Industries or ForneyInd.com or an authorized Forney dealer for you. So thank you once again to Forney. And I need your guys' help real quick. I need 5 minutes. Anyone got a timer?
I'll do that.
Wait, hold on. I didn't do my outro, though. Let me do it really quick.
All right, please do it.
And that was the lightning round on the NASCAR Weekly Podcast. And now, back to the show. Did my mic cut out?
No, it didn't.
Yes! I love these settings. Let's go!
All right. Tell me when you're ready, Jarrett.
All right. Let's see. Let me make sure I got it. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So thank you for the random Jar Jar account. They gave me 99 cents beforehand. There was no comment on that one, but thank you for that super chat. Thank you to Philip Richards, 5-month member, says, welcome to the Bank of America Cheater Boy 400. Thank you for being a member so long, Philip. And thank you to Spencer, says, anyways, a member milestone chat right there for 4 months. Thank you, man. And then Hot Piss is a new member of the Iceberg channel. So thank you, man. That's awesome. I love you guys. Groovy Goose, thank you for the $1.99. Says Eric be missing like Harvick's 2021 Cup win. Damn. Jeez. Thank you, Scott McNew, for becoming a member as well. We got a lot of new members tonight and a lot of recurring ones. So thank you. Scott also leaves a $5 super chat. Says hope you guys are having a fantastic night. Not gonna lie, I'm kind of bummed that the one Sunday that my birthday is on They picked Texas to race at. Oh, I had that for a long time being on November 1st. So, like, that weekend was always Texas weekend for a long time.
Mine was usually Indianapolis growing up.
I had one where it was Talladega. That was pretty awesome. But, well, two where it was Talladega. So that was awesome. But I feel your pain, man. I feel it. Thank you, Brooke, for the $4.99. Says the reactions to Harvick wrecking himself says everything we need to know about how he's been looked at in the garage. It's true. I mean, multiple drivers were pretty happy. That Happy was not happy. Thank you, Phil Bridges, for the $5. Says the Elliott Gustafson pairing is as good as long as Allen doesn't make any of the strategy calls. Allen Gustafson gets too much crap, I think. I think
he gets way too much crap. He does.
He's a much better crew chief than people give him credit for. Chips Never 957. Thank you for your $5 super chat. Says Chris Buescher gave RFR their first non-super speedway top 3 since 2016 fall Bristol race. Stenhouse. Wow, that's a stat right there.
Wow.
Thanks for the stat there, Chip.
Brad Keselowski's coming just in time, isn't he?
Yeah. Justin Salinari, thank you for the $5 super chat and becoming a member. Thank you so much, man. Says, I agree with Jarrett that Blaney makes the Final Four. I believe we are seeing a new Ryan Blaney this season compared to others. I think so, too. Like, I'd said it a little bit earlier, but I think we're seeing a new Ryan Blaney. Thank you, Dustin, for the $1.99 super chat. Says, I say KFB wins, but playoff drivers have trouble this week. Phil Bridger, thank you for the $5. Says Harvick's curse is that he doesn't care about the fans, even his own, unless he just won a race. I'm not gonna rip on him like that. I won't go that far. Skid, thank you for the $4.99. Ironically, the 2 races that ended Harvick's championship hopes both ended in the Mobil 1 car. 2019 Martinsville and this year at the Roval. Do you mean 2020 Martinsville?
Yeah, he means 2020.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. Platinum Paradise, thank you for the $4.99. Says Harvick had a chance to be a fan favorite after his 2001 Atlanta win, but his antics have been a black eye for the sport for 20 years. Jeez, people are not happy with Harvick.
They don't like it.
I saw this one earlier. I love this.
What?
Scott McNew, thanks for the $5, man. I saw your tweet earlier this weekend too. The flies are all over, man. Thank you for the $5 though. He says, Jarrett, I'm sorry we couldn't fire Mike Zimmer for you this week. My team can never do anything right. See, It just proves that the curse of the Lions out-curses the Vikings. The Lions are on this earth to give teams like the Vikings a benchmark to always be above, except for like 1 year every decade. But
go Rams.
I'm sorry that you're a Lions fan. Every Lions fan I've talked to doesn't take offense to me saying that.
No. Yeah, go talk to Eddie Soundhead there.
Eddie Soundhead.
Yeah, Eddie Soundhead here.
We love Ed. We love Ed, though.
Yeah, we love him, bro.
Thank you, Andrew, for the $5 super chat. Talladega and the Roval got me so pumped. Let's see what's next on the schedule.
Good old Texas. Good old Texas.
I might just make a video on why Texas is the most hated.
Just go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Why not? I've already done one on a driver. I might as well do one on a track.
Wait. You need to start that video off. With Sandy Cheeks. What did you say? Don't you dare take the name of Texas in vain.
I'm Texas.
Danny, real quick, how much time I got left on this?
You got 10 seconds. You might as well be done now.
Well, I'll leave it at that one. We'll get the rest of them towards the end of the show. Let's move on real quick. We got a few more subjects before we get to our Texas preview. There it goes. Let's talk about the next gen stuff. There's been a little bit of news. There's not too much we can really analyze, but at the same time, there's some fun stuff we can talk about. So stupid fly.
I saw it.
It's literally, they're flying at me. They're attacking me. It's not fair.
Oh my god! Just torch the place. You can get rid of them. Oh man. Yeah, you can just back up the car and you're good. Not playing.
What the hell are you talking about? No.
I don't know.
No. Anyway, next gen stuff. 650 horsepower with tapered spacer and a 4-inch spoiler are going to be used at the short tracks and road courses. 550 horsepower and 8-inch spoiler at the intermediates.
Gagging.
Dude, you
We like what we're seeing.
Jeez. I was gagging when I saw that. But
you sound like the singer of Disturbed.
Oh, God. Getting that deep, huh? But no. Yeah, so I'll speak on this first, man. Now, I tweeted this yesterday. Okay, as much as we, don't like the 550 and it's not looking good for the intermediates and stuff like that, we at least still have 650. So at least there's that. But I will say this: just wait until we see these cars in action for real next year, and then make a judgment. Okay, I think that's only fair. Obviously, some NASCAR fans aren't going to do that for obvious reasons, but I'm just going to sit and wait and see how these cars race. I mean, we do have the package rules, sure, but again, this is a totally different car. So, 550 on the intermediates doesn't sound good right now. And even I just gagged, talking about it. But again, for real though, let's wait and see how, this new car races on the at the beginning of the season next year. I say give it, roughly maybe 6 to 9 races. Nice, see what I did there. But yeah, no, seriously, 6 to 9 races, and then we can make a final decision. But I mean, here's the thing: I've gotten into other motorsports for a reason. I was heavily into NASCAR for most of my life up until 2018, but then we had David Land on, and he set me straight about the world of IndyCar. And you guys remember that?
Set yourself up for that one.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I know. I just wanted him on the show, so I was just like, yeah, just come on. But no, I had to do the most. But no,
you were a different person back then. So.
Yes, much different. But no, pretty much. I've noticed this with a lot of other NASCAR fans too. They are starting to get into other forms of motorsports because they feel that this package doesn't, this isn't what they want. Is basically what I've heard. So. I mean, if this doesn't work out, again, NASCAR really needs this next gen car to work, and this car could really set up the sport for the next decade and and beyond. So it will not be good if the fan response isn't pleasant at all. So I'm just saying, guys, again, in conclusion, wait until these cars are on track for real next year, and then call it like you see it.
Danny.
I think Darian just said everything you need to say right there. All we can do is wait. All we've seen now at this point is test sessions, and the Roval test session probably when we saw the most cars, and the Daytona test. But that's not enough. We haven't seen them even a test session. They're just going to go out there, run around trying to break the car. They're not even in racing condition. They're not trying to win anything right now at this point. So we have nothing to go off of other than, hey, drivers can at least drive them for the most part and not crash it. So that's good. And we know what they'll look like with a paint scheme on them. So that's about all. That's about all we have.
I'm going to add a little bit here. Yeah, for the most part, I'm with you on wait and see. But I want to say something to everyone all year who's been saying, don't complain about there being 550 horsepower. Don't complain about the spoiler. It'll be different next year, and it still might be. But I'm just saying, I was saying from the start that NASCAR always does these things where they say, oh, it's temporary. Don't worry about it. And then they're like, oh, yeah, by the way, we're doing this for a while. Oh, don't worry. We're just moving the numbers for one race. It's just the all-star race. Who cares? By the way, we're moving forward from now on. Yeah, we don't give a damn what you think.
The low horsepower, high downforce package, it was supposed to be for one race only, the 2018 All-Star race.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. This was my big fear all along. Again, they might race differently, but NASCAR has literally, SMI literally is redoing Atlanta so it can be its own super speedway, right? I mean, they quote liked what they've seen, so do we really think it's gonna be that different, or are we just kind of hoping it's gonna be different?
Because I think. Okay, sorry.
They have the diffuser, so that might make it different. They're trying to clean up the dirty air problem. I feel like the 550 package is it's that close to being what IROC had. Yeah. But I feel like it's maybe they'll figure it out with this, but I don't want to sit here and just say what's going to happen off of hope. I hope it's different, but I don't think it's going to be.
The thing is, different or not, diehards like me, I'm still going to watch it even if I know it's trash. I'm still gonna watch Pocono, even if it's not my
Yeah.
favorite.
And obviously, you know, a diehard like myself, of course, I am too, you know, and I think NASCAR knows that at least the diehards will. But again, I've noticed a lot of people saying, like, this is why I'm watching, you know, other motorsports like F1 and IndyCar, you know, heavily now, you know, because NASCAR, they can't get it right in some of these cases with the package or whatever and stuff. You know, you can hope all you want, but at the end of the day, I mean, if it doesn't work out, then I seriously have to question, you know, NASCAR's future to a certain extent. But I mean, they keep hyping up this next gen car and stuff. And then even today, Steve Phelps had said a quote that he used a word, and I forgot what the word was, but I looked it up, and it basically said, like, this is going to be like the cure, basically, is what the word meant. And I'm like,
I'll believe
dude,
when I see it.
Yeah, I'll believe
There's
it when I
so much
see it.
that can change.
And again, if it goes poorly, that's another quote from Steve Phelps that is not going to age well at all.
Again, it's just you gotta rein it back. That's the thing. Like you gotta rein it back. But
and again, like we've had him on the show. He's a nice guy and stuff.
he is.
And like,
I
he's a
like
pretty
him as a
good.
person.
He's a good NASCAR president. I think he's the right guy for the job. But yeah, I mean, when it comes to these quotes, though, yeah, like you gotta rein it back a bit, though, sir.
Now, I want to say one quote that really caught my eye over the others was Anthony Alfredo said, "It feels like a different racing series altogether." And a lot of people were talking, you know, different sound, different smell, just different everything to it. So I'm like, I have to admit, I'm excited because, like, for something new, but I will say, like, I love the garage how it is now. Like, I hope it's not too different. But again, they sounded excited about it. He said it's like a whole different racing series altogether. Like, and it's that big of a change.
And also Tyler Reddick, even, I mean, we know what type of wheelman he is, and he'll perhaps might be a future champion. Hopefully, we'll see. But Tyler Reddick even said, like, yeah, these cars drive a lot different, and he basically said the jinx of it was like, these cars they seem really fun to drive, and also like they're finally difficult to drive too, because in the Roval test sessions, you saw Ricky Stenhouse Jr. have a couple of spins. You saw Denny Hamlin have a spins, which, by the way, the NASCAR Twitter account should have put something saying Denny Hamlin was in that 23, because
they were
all
baiting.
They were baiting. I know what they were doing. It's still, but that was funny to see. But still, you know,
Centric had problems.
Yeah, Centric had problems too, and he's like a freaking road course master. So it's looking like this car is looking like it'll be very difficult to drive on like the short tracks, perhaps, and obviously the road courses. Now, as for the intermediates, still to be determined. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Well, something else that's still to be determined is the subject of what we're talking about next is 23XI's charter negotiations. They've collapsed. So Front Row has walked away from the final talks.
Front Row is not going nowhere. The show goes on, yo.
At like the 11th hour of the 2021 season.
They were like, nope.
So they're saying Spire could be an option. But I got to ask you guys, like, they don't get a charter. Yes, I know that for the most part, they probably won't have full field, so they'll be able to make it. But, like, where does this leave 23XI? Because, you know, they're not going to get as much money for that second team. They're not going to get as much equipment early on for the next-gen car. It's going to put the 45 team in a hole from the beginning.
Oh no, it's going to put them at a massive disadvantage, especially compared to Trackhouse, because they already have their charters set, correct? They already bought them, I believe.
Well, when you buy an entire
team. They bought the whole team. Duh, that's right. I almost forgot about that. But yeah, they bought the whole freaking team, so they're good to go.
They're about to be saying, "Hey, Rick Ware, I got $10 million. Still got any of them charters, man? I need a charter."
Be like Dave Chappelle, you got any of them charters for me?
You got any of them charters, man?
But yeah, it does put the 45 team at a massive disadvantage, and that sucks because you're not just having any driver show up to drive that car. You're having a former champion in Kurt freaking Busch showing up to drive that car. So I wonder how he'll feel about that, knowing that, hey, this team, this part of 23XI isn't going to get as much money as the 23 entry will in the future if they don't buy a charter. So, hopefully the deal with Spire works out, but man, Front Row, they were like, you thought we were leaving? Nope. The show goes on, Show goes on.
Hey, real quick, Scott McNew left in the chat really quick, tagging us. He said, and I don't want to go back too much on the next gen stuff, but he said, from being at the Roval test on Monday, I can confirm the smell of the cars was different compared to Sunday, and they sounded more like a sports car to me.
That's probably got something to do with the different, the sound has got to do something more with the two exhaust, the smell. Could be something to do with the engine being a little bit different. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
And also two exhaust. I don't know.
going back to the 2311 front row drama, Bob Pockers had said it looked like front row could still be a 2-car organization in 2022. So I'll ask you guys, they got Anthony Alfredo out there. Do you roll with Anthony another year? He has, a year of experience in Cup. He has a new car, sort of a new starting point. Do you roll with Anthony? Because they're probably going to keep McDowell. Loves will probably come back. Or do you test the waters and see if maybe you can get a DiBenedetto, or you can get somebody like a Ryan Newman, somebody who can bring, stability in the sense that they're not going to wreck and junk your new cars that much.
Look, we've had Anthony on the show, and I think he's immensely talented too. I mean, we saw his progress with RCR and in 2020. It was pretty good, and it was looking like, hey, if he goes full time in Xfinity, he could perhaps be a champion or win a lot of races. We'll see, but. Yeah, I mean, ever since he's moved up to the Cup Series, again, it's been, I made the case at the start of the season that, okay, maybe this might be the new trend. Instead of just going Xfinity racing, let's just throw some of these young guys in the Cup and then, get some of that experience and stuff. Really outside of Sonoma, and then obviously at Talladega, he scored a top 10. I mean, we've seen Anthony, he's either, been wrecked or he's wrecked himself, that sort of thing. So I don't want to completely write him off just yet, but if there's an opportunity to perhaps get a veteran like a Newman or, any of the other veterans on the market at the moment, I mean, if you had the opportunity to bring a really good caliber driver like Ryan Newman into your team, I mean, it would be hard to say, oh, no, let's just roll with Anthony, but if they do roll with Anthony Alfredo, I would be cool with that too. Just, give him one more year and stuff like that. Because, I mean, I've seen rookies in the Cup Series, they just get 1 year. Because remember, John Hunter Nemechek was with that same team last year, and then he just, abruptly left and stuff. So,
yeah.
I don't know. I'm just not into, this whole one and done deal. I'm just not into that.
And then, even before then, they had Matt Tiff basically in the same kind of scenario. I wouldn't rule out them continuing on that trend. And since now we know that he's probably not, is likely not going to be back where he is this year with Tax Slayer and the Hot Sauce Company, what if Myatt Snyder jumps up in? What if he brings enough funding to get into that opportunity? What if Myatt Snyder and Anthony Alfredo switch places? What if Anthony goes back to RCR Xfinity?
So Richard Childress, he did say this to a reporter. I saw this on Twitter. He said that they are currently working with other teams to try and find Myatt Snyder, some type of RCR affiliated team, I guess.
Okay.
So I think he'll stay put in the Xfinity Series in the future. But if there is an opportunity to go Cup racing, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. He is sponsored by Hot Sauce after all. So
and of course, you got Mr. Monster Energy. Riley Herbst can go wherever he wants. So.
Oh yeah, that was another one too.
Well, what about down the pipeline a little bit? What about maybe like Todd Gilliland?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind him too. I mean, he is driving for in the truck series.
David, yes, and David Gillen does have a great relationship with Front Row. So
yeah, I mean, he basically was their, the pioneer of that team. I remember when he finished second to David Reagan in their one of 2 wins.
And he finished like close where Trevor Bayne won the 500, I think.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Oh yeah, he was top 3. Yeah,
third or fourth.
Third.
Because I know it was Edwards in second. I always mix up. Was it Labonte in third or him? Either way.
Yeah.
I know Todd Gilliland hasn't raced Xfinity. It's just a matter of like they've proven in the past. They'll just move people up and down. I mean, maybe
they don't care.
Maybe make that your plug and play ride. Have your road course ringers come in on the road courses. Have guys that are good at super speedways come in, and at other tracks, that short tracks, maybe have like Josh Berry run a few races. Just make that your car that you're just going for the owner's championship in.
Yeah.
Do whatever you can there.
And going back to the charter talk about 2311, I haven't even considered this. It's not a bad thought. Sprint 9988 brings up Richard Petty Motorsports still having a second charter to lease to Rick Ware. Is that still a thing? Could they buy that potentially?
It'd be on the table. I mean, I think they're going to get the charter down, personally. I mean, I think that you got MJ back in it. You got plenty of money in this thing.
They have to get that charter. They have to.
But again, I think this is what happens when, it's like the comparison between 2311 and Trackhouse is you got a team like 2311 who's really been just putting stuff together as they go. You got a team like Trackhouse that's run by people in the industry with backing from a celebrity, whereas it's like most of the stuff here about 23XI, it's like always connected to Michael Jordan. So I think they'll get their feet under them. I think they need guidance right now from Joe Gibbs Racing, like big time. Like get somebody in there, because much respect to Denny for what he's doing right now, but it's like he's never done this on the Cup level before.
No,
Michael
and
Jordan
I mean
hasn't either.
And he can have Joe Gibbs to lean on. I mean, obviously Joe Gibbs won't give him all the secrets, but I'm quite sure he would help out. Give him some advice. And I'm sure he has up to this point. So
yeah, well, I think that about covers that because we got Texas. Yeah.
Texas. Let's just get it over with, man.
All
Don't
right.
you dare take the name of Texas in vain.
Oh God, this is my least favorite weekend of the year. At least there's only one. There's only one now. Thank you, Coda.
But guys, by the way, we have Eric's picks, by the way, so he is with us in spirit. So we'll list those picks off as well.
Is Sammy Hagar going to be near this race?
Oh God, I hope.
Oh no, man, ban him from the track, bro. No, do not let him within 10 miles of that facility. I do not need that ever again. We don't. We do not.
The race is going to be just about to start, and all of a sudden you start hearing a distant radio of a car coming.
No.
Anyway,
he's going to do pace laps around the track with everyone.
Well, let's get into it real quick. Let's get into this weekend. So the Cup race will be Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time on Big NBC and PRN. The Xfinity race will be on Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, again on Big NBC.
Big NBC.
PRN will be going with that one too. Looking at the weather this weekend, through the week, the weather didn't look all that good, but it looks like it's going to clear up for the weekend, at least by what the tracker was saying about 2 hours ago. Nice. Saturday is looking to be 71 degrees, nice, plenty of sunshine, less than 5% chance of rain. Also, Sunday, 73, partly sunny, and nice as well. It's weird, 73 and nice. You think it'd be 69 and nice. Anyway, 5% chance of rain that day.
What's the chance for mist?
Ooh, I don't know that one.
Ooh. Have y'all ever seen the movie The Mist? Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, I've seen it. But something else that we have not seen, something we have not seen at Texas is resin being used instead of PJ1 this weekend.
Oh,
that's the same material that was used at Nashville. And that race was, I thought, pretty good, at least in person. So
for Nashville Super Speedway standards, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
What standards? We define the standards.
The Xfinity standards from years ago.
Yeah, from years way back.
Well, Darian, what are the standards when it comes to betting odds this weekend for the Texas race?
Okay, and I haven't pulled up this time. Don't have to wait. But yes, the betting odds for the 2021 Auto Trader
Larson's probably like plus 200 or something like that.
Yep, Eco Park Automotive 500. So Kyle Larson is the odds on, or Echo Park. Excuse me. I'm sorry about that.
No,
no. Kyle Larson is obviously the odds-on favorite. He enters this weekend at plus 340, and then the closest in second is Denny Hamlin at plus 600. So Kyle Larson is for sure the favorite, and third is Kyle Busch plus 700. Fourth, Chase Elliott plus 750. Oh God, here we go. Chase Elliott, get me for that. Here we go again. Look what I did. Sorry, I'm just playing. But yes, and then finally in P5, MTJ Martin Truex Jr. at plus 900, and tied with him is Ryan Blaney at plus 900. And then if we look at the rest, some of the underdogs.
Yeah, give me some underdogs who would be a good value bet.
I know we were harping on him in the beginning, but Kevin Harvick does have a track record of competing really good here at Texas. He enters this weekend at plus 1,400. And then looking down at the field, let's see. Chris Buescher is coming off an impressive run at the Roval. He enters this weekend at plus 7,000. And then if we go all the way down, just for fun, Garrett Smithley is plus 100,000 odds to win. So I don't know. I just found that funny. But yeah, those are the betting odds.
Maybe give me like one or two more long shots. So like let's say, give me the RCR guys because I think they could run well.
Yes, those are perfect. Tyler Reddick enters this weekend at plus 3,000, and then Let me see. Where is good old Austin Dillon? Dang, where is okay? And then Austin Dillon. Whoa, Austin Dillon's he's actually favored to win more than Reddick at 2,800. But again, Austin Dillon did win here last year. So, but Tyler Reddick did finish P2, so he's at least
probably why they're so close together. Probably a little recency bias with that one.
Mm-hmm.
That interests me. Let's see. I'm trying to think of somebody. I'm trying to think of somebody else who might be a factor that we're not thinking of. Who's the lowest playoff driver?
Okay, let me see. The lowest playoff driver out of the 8. Let me just confirm. Okay, so it's all the way up here. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Brad Keselowski at 1,800.
Wow.
Plus. Yeah,
I can't remember. I know he's won at Texas, but it's been a while. I can't remember the last time he won at Texas.
Yeah, it's been a while, but again, he enters the playoffs in 8th, -16, and again, his performance has been meh. I mean, not too bad,
everyone kind of sees him as okay. You're going to Roush, moving on.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the motivation's there to win, but if it's not, I wouldn't be surprised if he just kind of coasts this, through the round of 8. We'll see though, but yeah,
it's funny. I don't remember him really winning at Texas too much. But I do remember, yeah, man, or yellow.
Yes, of course.
Isn't that Charlotte?
No, I thought it was at Texas.
Oh, no, that is Charlotte. You're thinking of the Gordon versus Keselowski.
Oh, okay, well, he did have a fight at Texas, though.
Yeah. So he just had that. Kevin Harvick pushed him into that fight.
Brad Keselowski versus the world. So thank you for the betting odds there, Darian.
No problem.
I think everybody needed those real quick because looking at the pick points, I got the sweep. Last weekend, I picked AJ Allmendinger and Kyle Larson to win. So, good things there. Very good things. What do you guys think? Very good, I'd say.
You got those bonus points, man. Oh, my goodness.
So, I currently have 577 points. Eric is still P2. He's now -61. Chat, y'all are -87 in 3rd, last in the podium. Darian is in 4th. You're -1.
Damn you, chat!
You're down to 101. Guest picks are down 117 in 5th. And then Danny, you would put in the chat, how low can you go? -149 in 6th. 200 is still attainable.
Yeah, that's my goal. I'd like to get as low as possible, and it'd be a win.
Nice.
Let's roll on into these picks this week. So everybody, let's start off with Xfinity win. Chat, y'all go off. Danny, do we have like guest and Eric's picks ready?
Yes, I do, and I can go ahead and say our guest pick is going to be Miss Claudia. It's going to be our guest for today. Now, I've only got the Xfinity win and truck win. And Cup win.
Cup win.
For Xfinity Series, she says that Justin Allgaier is going to win.
Okay.
And then Mr. Estepp is going with John Hunter Nemechek to win.
We went out there, but I respect it.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm going to go with the man who led, if not the most, led close to the most laps at the last Texas race in the Xfinity Series. I'm going to go with Austin Cindric. I think he's going to get the win this week.
I'm going to go with his opposite, AJ Allmendinger. I'm going to say that AJ will win at Texas.
So this driver, might be a bit of a wild card, but maybe not. If you watch last year's race, this guy almost clinched his way into the championship for it. Got passed on the final lap. Noah Gragson gets redemption this weekend and locks his spot into the
I was thinking about Gragson, but decided to change it.
I'm already behind, hella, so I'll take the risk. I don't really care at this point.
Well, let's see what the chat's got at the moment. I'm looking through. There's a lot of Cindrics in there.
Yeah, I see 3 Cindrics.
I wonder if the chat's just gonna follow what I do.
No MV Rounder. Natalie Decker is not racing.
Garth Brooks got a vote.
Demi Lovato got a
vote. For the most part, I'm seeing Cindric. I see some Harrisons.
I'm seeing a lot of Gregsons coming in now.
Oh, nah.
Yeah, there are a lot of Gregsons.
Yeah, seeing some.
Because you got to watch out for them coming in as 9, too. Okay, yeah, now there's a lot of Gregsons coming in.
Sammy Hager, yeah.
I think it's between the 9 and the 22. I like Lane White putting the check Gregson.
I think I'm gonna give it to Gregson. Actually, I'm seeing more of him. Okay, MVR, you can't just do
Can't
three
do
centers in
that.
a row.
You can't do that. It's not allowed.
No, and you can't say 22 too.
Oh, T-Pain's back. I haven't seen T-Pain in a while. It's been a minute.
I want to
seen
give
two
it just a
nines
little
there.
bit, just in case those Cindric ones. give a
There's even
charge.
one that says Greg's son.
Yeah, and then Krieg Rex.
Cindric.
Oh man.
I mean, it's close because there was a
It's
lot
close.
of Cindric early. There's a lot of Gregson. Now it's kind of even.
No, now I see two nines in a row now.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
tough.
I think it's Noah. Oh, there's three Noahs in a row.
Yeah, we're
yeah,
starting.
I think we're going Gregson on this one.
All right, yeah. Oh, I just saw no Gregson. Yep, Gregson.
Yep, Gregson got it.
All right, boys, we're in this together.
So Darian won't make up any ground in the Xfinity race. Maybe they're doing it just to troll him.
maybe so. Just to keep it clear.
All right, did Eric leave a suck pick for us?
He did, and he's riding the anti-momentum of last week and saying that Harvick will suck.
I swear, we're not going to keep piling on Harvick, I swear. But
Oh.
I'm going to go with the suck pick that is on the opposite end of that spectrum. This driver just, for some reason, struggles at Texas compared to the other two playoff tracks in this round. A lot of it's not of his own making, but, I don't have a good feeling on Elliott on this one. I think Elliott's going to suck of the playoff drivers.
This is where he got his first nationwide win.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
remember that.
In
That
Cup,
was
though,
on the
it's been
old
hit or
Texas.
miss.
Yeah, that was on the good Texas too.
Good.
I'm gonna say, even though he withstood 3 days of punishment to finally win, I'm gonna say Kyle Busch does not do good here this weekend.
Ooh,
Wow.
getting some bold ones.
What do you got, Darian?
Dang. I will say, and I'll stick with a playoff driver for the sake of entertainment here. I will say, look, I like this guy. I love him, but, we've seen, he has been way more consistent this year, of course, but there's always a little something. Until I'm proven wrong, I gotta go with Blaney here. I'm sorry, guys. Look, I've been rolling with Blaney throughout the season, but now we're getting into crunch time now. This is the championship. He's been here before, hasn't advanced, so might not be a good race for him. Maybe I don't know what will happen, but I'll go with Blaney. Sorry, chat.
This is the point where, hey, I'm surprised he got this far.
Until I'm proven wrong,
I'm with you. I don't see Blaney making it to a championship 4.
Yeah, until I'm proven wrong, otherwise I'll go with Blaney. And Dylan Smith will probably give me crap after.
Ye of no faith.
Yes.
He will.
I'm sorry.
I'm looking in the chat right now. There's a lot of Elliott's, man. Like,
Put the
If
Mickey
you-
Mouse ears in the chat, folks.
if you scroll through, there's a lot of Chase, Elliott, 9.
Sammy Hagar got to pick the suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
I can agree too. Kurt Angle will suck.
There's-
You suck.
I mean, there's some Keselowski's in there, Cheater Boy, but I don't know about you guys. It looks like it's. I think once
I'm seeing
again,
a lot of nines.
Yeah, the
I'm seeing a lot
chat
of
is going
nines.
9 again.
Yeah. Chase.
And I just see mouses too, so you know what that is.
Yep. Give him Chase.
Sorry,
Give him Chase.
mice,
Yeah,
not mouses.
We're seeing mice. Give him Chase.
I
Elliott.
think-
You know the deal.
I think we're giving him Elliott. So the chat's sticking with me on this one. All right.
All right.
Who's our dark horses this week? Who's our dark horse?
For Eric, his dark horse is the driver of the 3 car, Austin Dillon.
That's a good dark horse.
That's a good one.
My
For-
dark horse.
Oh,
My dark horse is a guy who just got Roush their first top 3 in 5 years. That's not on a plate track. I'm going with Chris Buescher.
This guy finished second to his teammate Texas last year in the summer. I feel like he'll have another good run. Coming off of P2 on the Roval, that's not an easy place to get a top 5, let alone a runner I finished there. And he's a wheel man for sure. Tyler Reddick is my dark horse.
my dark horse is going to be Mr. Daniel Suarez.
Oh, good one.
Who do we got in the chat?
I'm seeing a couple of 8s already off the bat.
Seeing
I'm
8s
seeing
and
a lot of
3s.
RCR basically. Yeah, basically RCR. is
They
what
were
I'm
listening
seeing.
to your odds, I think, maybe.
Yeah, maybe so. I love Spencer 55478's comment. Reddick, Teresa lawsuit intensifies.
Oh yeah, that's right. Reddick's
Yeah.
driving a very Intimidator-esque scheme this week.
Yes, and Teresa's looking like,
Okay, Dylan is getting a fair amount, but I'm seeing more for Reddick.
Yeah,
I'm gonna agree. I think it's Reddick.
Reddick. Yeah, it's looking like Reddick for sure.
Tyler
Reddick.
God, why did I growl on that? We're giving it to Reddick. What's left? What's left?
Okay, now the famous part of this segment of the show. Who's gonna win? Who's gonna win? Who's gonna win? At the future Walmart, Texas Motor Speedway.
Damn. We're brutal tonight.
Okay, hey, come on. It's Texas. It's a future Buc-ee's.
Hey, yeah,
Even better.
Yes, even better, bro. Even better. That'd be the closest Buc-ee's to the West Coast that we have. Damn. Bring a Buc-ee's on the West Coast, please.
Well, technically, there's already Buc-ee's like across the street from there. But anyways,
Yeah.
So who do we got,
gonna
Danny?
win.
Who's Eric and Claudia you got?
so I'll go ahead and lump mine in there too, so I can just get those out of the way. Claudia is going to defy Darian and say that Blaney wins this weekend,
Oh.
and Eric is saying Hamlin wins, and I am saying nah, Larson wins. LOL.
Well, it's funny, Danny. You and I have completely different thoughts on this driver. This driver has been the best driver in NASCAR on the 1.5 mile tracks with the 550 package. He won here last year on the last race that actually mattered on this track. I am going with KFB. Kyle Busch is going to go back-to-back. He's going to pull his inner Jimmy Johnson and win back-to-back years at Texas. Because Johnson, there was a while where Johnson was like winning every year at Texas, it seemed
It
like.
was.
And it was where he got one of his last few wins too.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. That's right. Well, I'm going Kyle Busch. I don't think this is going to be one of Kyle Busch's last ones, but it might be one of the last ones of the year. Kyle Busch, he's my pick.
All right.
And I'm up next. See, I was deciding between, Kyle Busch or Kyle Larson here. I mean,
Kyle
you
and
can
Kyle
make an
show.
argument. Yeah, exactly. You can make an argument for both of them, but I feel like Kyle Larson's the much safer pick here. I feel like he'll clinch his way into the round of 4. Won't have to worry for the rest of the round of 8. Kyle Larson wins.
Now, who do we got in the chat?
So far, I'm seeing a lot of Larson,
A lot
but
of Larson.
still giving it time.
We see a couple of Hamlins, but no, I think the majority is Larson. That's what I see.
Oh, wow. Even Denny Deliver says Larson, not Hamlin.
Whoa, that says a lot right there.
I feel like that one meme, because I did this last week where everyone picked Chase and I picked Larson based on just the stats. And I feel like that one meme. Why are you booing? I'm right. No. In all fairness, no. Larson is probably the best pick, but I'll go Kyle Busch on this one. And you know what? If I'm wrong,
You already have
I'm
a 61-point lead, so you can do what you want at this point.
I mean, wait, have you basically got it locked up at this point? Is it possible
locked
for
up?
anyone to come back?
No, it's possible. I mean, top 5 are still mathematically alive. Sorry, Danny.
Oh, so that's a chance.
So honestly, once you know that it's probably locked up, you just need to start giving the worst picks ever. Just say Quinn Half wins.
Yeah, pick Starcom in their final race.
What happens if like I pick one of them, like I pick Quinn or I pick like Cody Ware, and because of like a rain thing and strategy, like they win.
That's the greatest luck of all
Like
time.
I should just be like put that on the belt. Just Jarrett pick Cody Ware's first win.
But yeah,
Nah.
it's looking like Larson though.
Yeah,
Man.
it's looking like Larson in there. I mean, I'm just saying Larson has a problem. I'm getting some points in that one.
Exactly. Might just clinch up the championship this weekend, perhaps.
I can't. I checked.
Oh,
I
yeah,
checked.
you already checked. I knew it. I knew you already checked.
Once you figure out you've got it, just give the worst picks you've ever given.
I'll just completely tank. Now watch everyone else's picks go bad.
You're going to say Kyle Larson's going to suck at this race. And well, there's sometimes we can say that, but not often.
Yeah, but I think that's it. We got our picks here. So I got Kyle Busch, Eric has Denny Hamlin, guests have Ryan Blaney, and everybody else has Kyle Larson.
Yeah.
So Oh, and I just looked at it, Darian. You aren't going to make up any points on the chat because you all picked the same in both.
Oh, I just realized that. Oh no.
Congrats, chat. You made his mic peek out for the first time all stream.
Oh, it did. Is it good?
Yeah,
It's
you're
fine.
good.
It was just a brief moment. Well, we do want to thank you really quick. So what we're going to do, we're going to read off these last bit of super chats before we head out and tell you who our special guest is for next week.
Y'all are gonna love it.
Oh, I think y'all are. Let's see. We stopped, I believe, at Scott, right? He talking about the Lions, or did we? No. We stopped at Andrew. We stopped at Andrew. I'm gonna make sure that this last super chat is still there because it gets blocked out. All right. Thank you, Alaskan Yankee, for the $10 super chat. It says, do you guys think with how much hate these paint schemes are getting with the forward numbers that it will, in the long run, affect die-cast sales? Also, I found that 23 liquid color chase piece today.
Oh, that's a good find. It's possible. Part of the appeal of buying diecast is buying cars you think looks cool. Like, I'm not the biggest Daniel Suarez fan in the world, but I love the way the Trackhouse cars look. Now, am I going to think they look just as good next year? Never know. But that's going to affect some people. They won't like the way it looks, and some people may not want to buy them because they don't like the way they look.
It could, maybe. I think time will tell at this point. Demonic_Foxy, thank you for the $2 Canadian. Rick Ware Racing, enjoying those 2 NASCAR Pinties wins. Checks. Stephen Gibson, thank you for the $5, man. Says, I never want to go to the Roval after this weekend. 4 years of straight chaos. Patrick Hanlon says, go Patriots for $5. You would be friends with Dylan Smith, I can tell you that. And you would not have been friends with 2018 Darian.
No. I'm a lot more humbler about the Rams now. Go Rams. Go LA Rams.
I'm not humble about the Rams.
And then thank you, Irvin Alvarado, for the $4.99. TMS should be turned into the World Martial Arts Arena or the cell games from Dragon Ball Z.
Texas Mega Speedway.
Texas Super Speedway. Everything's bigger in Texas. 3 Mile Super Speedway. Let's make it happen, people.
Yeah.
3 mile, 35 degrees of banking.
It would only cost like $50 million to revenue, but let's make it happen.
It'd be so fitting, like after Eddie Gossage leaves, Texas would become the most popular track like that.
Oh my goodness, right?
Yeah. But thank you guys all for your super chats. So, looking at the famous itinerary. So I want to say, join us next week, next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central Time on Black Flags Matters channel. Darian, it's on your channel. Link in the description. Subscribe to Danny and Darian down below, as well as Eric. His link is down there. And then also, leave your questions in the comments below for our special guest. We talked about him earlier. It's very timely. He'll be coming on after his announcement tomorrow. John Hunter Nemechek. We'll have a pre-recorded interview with John Hunter Nemechek. So leave your questions below. Leave them on whatever community posts we put, Twitter, whatever it may be. Heck, send it into a weeklypodcastguest@gmail.com. We might read it. We might not. You never know until you send it. But John Hunter Nemechek is going to be on the show next week. Got a special announcement. Had a pretty good year so far. So be sure to tune in. I think it'll be a fun one.
Now, I will not be here next week. These guys will hold the fort down. Got a family vacation next week, but I will see you guys in 2 weeks on my channel. These guys will get you set up for what you can expect there next week.
And plus, it's Texas. You won't miss much.
I want to read off one last thing. So we have 4 episodes left this year, 1 on each of our channels. Darian, next week, October 20th, October 28th, we got some special stuff planned. Just there's a reason it's on a Thursday on Danny B's channel, November 3rd on mine, and the finale November 10th on Eric. So make sure you put that in your calendars. Got some cool stuff planned up. But guys, I think that'll be it for tonight. So,
yeah, that'll do it. That was fun. That was a fun episode.
Yeah. So let's get to it.
Let's do it.
Here we go.
Got the outro for this.
Let's do this.
We already know I'm gonna blow off the mic.
Hopefully it works. Please.
It started to.
Oh, dang. You were so close. You were this close. You were so close, man. Goodbye.